chariots, made her run. No one had a run like Grimes. No one.
Hello, chat room.
Chat room.
Chat room. Hold on.
Is there a chat room here?
Is there a chat room here? Oh, this is the.
Did you?
No, this is the right screen. Hi, everybody.
That's you. That's
was
just
just-
you. That was just you.
Wait,
look, I'm just
Wait,
a
your camera's
disembodied
frozen.
voice.
Oh, wait, there you go. Wait, is your camera frozen?
It shouldn't be.
No, you're good now.
I'm
Hi,
good?
everybody.
Gamers.
Gamers. We are professional streamers. We know what we're
It's
doing.
great. Listen, hey.
Hi. It's
fine.
your camera is freezing. Hold on. On my end.
Is
Okay.
it? Yeah.
No.
It looks fine to me in Discord, but I don't know.
Okay, I think it looks fine now.
Okay.
Looks fine now.
Listen, I might just freeze every now and then. Don't worry about it.
I think it was because I was hiding your
I'm
thing.
pausing for
It's fine though.
dramatic effect.
We got it. Tragic. Thank you for the follow. Hi everybody. We're over here today. Look at us.
Hello.
We're in charge over here. Camera is stuttering. I think I fixed it now. I think it's fine now. My chat room.
Yeah. I think
Anyway,
we should be okay.
welcome Mona. Thank you for following. Tragic, Quinn, Mustang, Abby, Neville, Theater Gay, Yuck, Pansy, Abby,
Apple.
Bug. Who have I not said hi to? Silvermoon, Pluvial, Reese, and
Say
Zag, Hello, everybody. Thank you for
Hello,
coming.
gamers.
Thank you for joining us today. Also, Cassandra. Thank you for joining us today. We're here on the It Gets Better channel. This is exciting. In case y'all didn't know, I am an It Gets Better ambassador. So I will be here at least a couple times. You will see my face over here. Is stream frozen? It looks fine on my end.
Looks good for me.
Also, hi Shan. Sorry if you can't see me or hear me.
No.
Oh, no. Anyway, in case you don't know who I am, my name is Momo. My pronouns are they, them. I am a Sims 4 main on twitch.tv / MomoMisfortune.
Great.
Emrys, introduce
Great.
yourself.
Well, I'm EmrysKay. I am also a non-binary Sims 4 main, which was the exact words I was going to use. But you know,
This is
there's
why
a variety with quotations around it. There's a big kind of variety there. But I mostly just play The Sims.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah.
And we're here today to talk about comic books. We are both very big queer comic book enthusiasts. I actually used to be part of this comic book club in my local, like my little local comic book store had like a comic book club. And we met like once a month and like talked about like a specific comic and stuff. It was a lot of fun. So, but that actually like stopped before the pandemic even happened. I was very upset about it. So I didn't have anybody talking about comic books anymore. But now here we are today. We're gonna talk about now I have Dear Emrys to talk about comic books. Very excited.
Listen, our lists were very different too, so you know that it's good.
Yeah,
we'll have some
surprisingly
good variety.
we have like there's like one I think that we're gonna talk. Well, no, there's like two.
There's like two, I think.
There's two that we're gonna talk about. I think one you've definitely read more than I have. So yeah, I don't remember if there's anything else that I want to talk about before we just freaking dive right in.
Yeah.
But chat, how's your day going so far? How's everybody doing?
How are you? It's
All right.
Friday.
It is Friday. Can we get some
I'm
hypes in
really
chat
so
for
excited.
Friday? I'm so excited.
Do you have any plans for the weekend?
No.
I mean, fair enough.
Like Genshin?
Genshin.
Maybe. Actually, I don't know. I
Genshin.
think we do need to go get we do need to go out and do some do stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Ash,
Doing adult
thank you
things.
for the follow. Okay, yeah. Do the adult things.
Yeah.
Hi
I feel
B. Hi B, welcome in.
Hi, B.
I hope you're doing well. Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing this weekend? Any plans?
I might go to the beach actually and read some queer comics because I've got this to
Toasty.
read shelf back
Hi,
here that
Toasty.
I need to get through.
Yeah, go read some comics. I would like to make a confession, everybody. There's a comic that we're going to talk about today that I definitely read last night. I started it and finished it last night.
Just devour that
It
one.
took me like an hour, okay? It took me
not
like an
bad.
hour. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty easy to get through. Very excited to talk about it. The end of it did make me cry. So can't wait to talk about that. But we're gonna talk about that one later. We have like, I don't know how many. We're just kind of winging it. I was originally gonna make notes on like different comics, so I had some talking points. Didn't do that because I just like winging it.
Prepping? Hello?
Emrys did a little bit of prepping.
I
I can read. Can y'all believe that?
Dude, you can read?
I can read.
You don't just like look at the pictures of
Hold
things
on.
and be like, oh, I've got the general gist of what's going on here.
Hold
It's
on.
fine.
Without spoiling what we're gonna talk about, let me see if I can try to spoil that one a little bit. Here's my stack. Here's my little stack of comics.
I have no stacks. They're all digital for me, y'all. Don't worry about it.
I have physical
Here's my digital
Your
stack of my comics. Here's all the comics we're gonna talk about right here
right there in your silly little phone.
on my silly little device.
Wait, Career Comics chat on the day. Yeah! Did y'all hear that Heartstoppers got renewed for 2 more seasons?
I'm so excited.
Heartstoppers is on the list of ones we're
No,
gonna talk about.
I feel like we couldn't have done a thing with queer comics and then not talked about Heartstopper.
I mean, we could talk
Like,
about that
it's-
first.
I mean, it's you know.
We should talk about it first. It's fresh on the mind. I feel
It
like
is
maybe
fresh,
we
you know,
did
yeah.
manifest it because it did get announced today. So, and I feel like
True.
that's also kind of what made me want to do, like, have this conversation as my first stream for, like, on the It Gets Better channel, was because the Heartstopper show came out, and then I was like, oh, I have to read the like webtoon. I think I was reading it on webtoon. I didn't get very far in it. I still need to keep reading it. But that just kind of reignited wanting to talk about, like, comics and stuff.
I mean, I'm always down to talk about queer media, literally at all. It's
Always.
just, it's such a, like, passion of mine. I'm like, I will talk about it for hours. I will talk until I cannot talk no more.
Same.
So
That's why you're here.
I'm
Ceases, thank you
here,
for the
guys.
follow. Welcome in. Also, Hangry, welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. Sorry to confuse y'all. We are over here today. I did forget
just a little change
to.
of scenery.
I remembered yesterday before I ended stream, I did mention it, but I might have also forgotten to mention it. Yep, that's what I gotta say. Anyway,
Very good.
Heartstopper. Wow.
Yes.
Wow, is it great? It's so great. Here, I'll let you go first. You read more than I have.
I've read more. I've read I'm not entirely caught up with the comic right now, but I've been reading it for years. And I can't remember where I, like, got into it or when I got into it, but I've been reading it for quite a while, and you know, I go in and out of, like, reading comics. I feel like I'm a very, like, I'm either really into it or I'm, like, not touching, like, media at all.
Yeah.
And I remember finding it because obviously anytime I consume any sort of media, my first go-to is looking for queer media that I can consume, because I'm like, that's what I want. That's what I crave. It gives me my energy.
Mhm.
And I remember stumbling upon Heartstopper and being like, oh my god. And then, like, I kept reading and I was like, oh my god, wait, there's trans rep in here. Oh my god, wait, there's you know, like, actual representation of people, and it's not a barrier gaze or anything like that. Like, it's not sad. I mean, there's some content warnings further along, but
yeah.
it feels, like, so realistic. I remember reading it and just, like, sobbing in my bed because I was just like, it was one of the first, like, pieces of, like, queer media that I had read that was, like, not full of angst and drama. Like, there was some stuff, but it, like, wasn't, like, I wasn't worried that, like, these characters are gonna fall apart and die and, like, it's not gonna be happy. Like, I was just like, wow. And even when it touched those, like, sensitive topics, I was like, it does it so well. Oh, I love it. And it just makes me, like, I just this one's like, I just love them so much. But yeah, and then, you know, the Netflix show came out, and now I feel like so many people are finding Heartstopper, which is...
And that's, like, a thing too. Also, Ren, thank you for the follow. Welcome into the stream. That's the thing too. I feel like with Heartstopper, like, becoming a Netflix show and, like, people wanting more, so now more people are gonna be, like, looking for the comic, whether it's like buying the physical books, or, like, looking for it online. And so now I feel like there's a whole new, like, group of people that's gonna be exposed to, like, queer comics.
Yeah,
which I think is really cool, because it's like, oh, if you like Heartstopper, then you'll like some of these. If you like Heartstopper, I have a book. One of these books definitely is, like, on that same, like, vibe. Because I remember I read, actually, I think, like, I'm not gonna show it yet because I don't want to talk about it yet. But I think, like, maybe not. Because sometimes in, like, the backs of these, like, comics has, like, oh, if you like these, then you'll like these. And I thought maybe Heartstopper was, like, in one of them. I don't think it was. But I know I had, like, seen Heartstopper, like, recommended, like, while looking for queer comics, but I just, like, kept forgetting about it, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like it's one of the bigger queer comics that's, like, out there. It's been, I don't know how long it's been running at this point.
Yeah.
Very long time.
Very long time.
I'm actually kind of curious.
/ in chat if you love Heartstopper.
Read or like even just watched it.
Read or watched the show. You watch the show, you should definitely read it. Read the comics
Yeah.
though. So good. Consume more of that media.
Consume it, baby.
Just about to start reading the second one. Good. I want to buy the actual books. Wait, it started in 2016?
2019. Well, that's when it's been uploaded, was 2019 to Webtoon. So
not yet, Cassandra.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I
read it.
know sometimes like getting into new media is like hard for sure. But
Wait.
I'm like, for some reason, I find it so much easier when it's like
Buy the books now. Buy them up now. Get them. Buy them now.
I have not been able to find a physical copy of the books in store anywhere since the Netflix show came out. I've been looking.
Valid. Yeah.
Cannot find them.
I was just gonna buy them online. I haven't been to like a comic book store in a while.
I went this past weekend. I went and got some good stuff. I got one of the ones we're gonna talk about today, and then something else by that same author, and then just some. I mean, I'm trying to fill out my Soul Eater collection, so I just every time I see one of those, I'm like.
Sometimes media becomes all-consuming over circles, and you're just like, wait, when did this happen? The way that like Heartstopper, I feel like had a chokehold on like the queer community because it's just so like, it was one of those shows I just didn't want to like stop watching it, and I feel like it's been a while. Actually, we've been getting a lot of good like queer shows lately. I was also
agreed.
like Our Flag Means Death. You know, I just didn't want to stop watching it, and it was very good. It's like same with Heartstopper. We've just been getting so much good queer media lately that's just good.
Getting queer media that like
welcome
isn't
in.
just making us want to cry.
Sad,
because it's like not, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just like with Heartstopper, I feel like it's been so long since like it's been like definitely just like a long time coming, and then now the Netflix show is out. I'm like, everything about the show I feel like is so good too.
So good. So since we talk about Heartstopper, how great of representation it was.
Yeah.
The first book, the first comic that I want to talk about might be a little let's say blast from the past.
Throwback.
A good old
Throwback Friday,
throwback.
baby. Flashback Friday.
Flashback Friday. But this book meant like this comic meant so much to me. Also, Dazed, welcome in. This comic meant so much to me. Like when I was like a wee little like queer 13-year-old, just trying to figure it out. And now like thinking back on it, there was anyway, it's Gravitation. Classic queer manga. I have almost all the volumes, but then they got really hard to like find. But this manga had such like a hold on me when I was just like a fresh little queer baby and was like trying to figure things out. And it's not good. It's not very but this is the thing with a lot of like gay like manga from the early 2000s, you know, like late 90s, early 2000s. The representation was not great. But this is all we had. So it was the whole trope of like, oh, there's one character, or the characters are both technically straight, but they fall in love with each other, and they're like, oh, I'm not gay, but I'm still in love with you.
Gay
and
only for you, baby.
Gay only for you. Which isn't great representation. But still, reading this comic, it being like one of the first like queer like pieces of media that I picked up. And like I never quite, like, especially when I was a kid, I never quite, or like a young teen/teenager, I never understood why this kind of media was so like, I was so into it. And then I realized it was because like, oh, I want to be in a relationship. Like if I'm in a relationship with a man, I want it to be in a queer way. Yeah. And that's why like I was so like consumed by like this type of media. Yeah. Also, hi Silky, thank you so much. Welcome in. We're talking about my little queer comic awakening.
Your little awakening.
This was my queer comic awakening. This was it. This is where it all started. And that's why I wanted to talk about it.
Oh my
Even though
gosh,
it's not
I
good.
love
Honestly,
that.
I kind of want to go back and like reread it.
Yeah.
Just to like really see.
Mhm.
But like this comic, I feel like it just perfectly encapsulates like 90s like comics,
yeah.
like 90s manga. Like look at this art style. Look at it.
I was gonna say the art style
Look
is
at
really,
the art style.
It's really thorough.
It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, Gravitation just holds a special place in my heart. Asylum Liz, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. All right, what should we talk about next?
I mean, I feel like if we're gonna go for our queer awakenings, we gotta also talk about the gender awakenings in us and where that kind of came from, and also, you know, not the best content, but it was the only content we had, and I feel like
You mean this one?
so many, yeah. I mean, like, come on.
We're on High School Host Club. We would like to preference. Hi, Maple. We would like to preference by saying this
age well.
has not aged well at all.
Mm-mm.
But it doesn't discount the fact that this, for both of us, had such a big impact on like gender.
Yeah.
We were talking.
I think-
We've been in like a Discord call for an hour before the stream started, right? And we had to refrain from talking too much about stuff because we're like, we have to save it for the
I have
stream.
to save it for this.
We have to save it for the stream. But there was a big thing, the trope where it was like like a female character dressing up as like being disguised or dressing up like as a male character that like really clicked in our brains, but didn't quite understand why. We're like, why is this, like, it was like so good.
Why does it make sense in my
Why
brain?
does
Why
it
do
make
I
sense
want
in
that?
my little brain?
Why did I go by the name Steve for like 2 years of my life? I don't listen.
You want to know when I was
Thought
in,
it was just a fun quirk. No, turns out I'm trans.
when I was in middle school, when I first started like being like masculine, my friends called me Mark.
Imagine if we were Steve and Mark now.
Oh my god.
Emrys and Momo, more like Steve and Mark.
Steve and Mark. 1 second, we're rebranding.
The Mark to Momo pipeline.
No, but and it's funny because I was already Momo to those friends too, which is maybe why they came up with Mark, because it begins with an M.
The M to M pipeline. Oh
my gosh. But also, it was also around this time, Mark Misfortune.
I'm sick. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I can't stop laughing. That's so funny. Masculine name growing up was Chris. Chris is still, that's like 10 out of 10.
I like
good.
that.
I
I
used to
feel
get
like that one
called
holds
Jimmy.
up. Steve doesn't
Jimmy is
feel
good.
like...
Jimmy and Chris are great. Steve and
I
Mark.
literally had Steve on my softball uniform for 2 years. 2 years. I feel like I should go find them.
Oh,
How did
please.
I not know?
On your softball uniform.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
Yeah. Come on, yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, Host Club. Speaking on the topic, I know this isn't comic related, but it's on the same topic of like, a female character dressing up as a male character. Mulan, looking back on that, I was like, man, it's one of those things where I feel like for a lot of us trans folk, we like look back on our lives to like put the pieces together, especially like when we were like younger, we didn't have like the kind of representation that we have now. Like we didn't have the It Gets Better Twitch channel and Twitch stream to like see people like us talking about their experiences and be represented. We had nothing. We had gravitation.
We had queer
and we
dating.
had host club. But like looking back and thinking, Mulan is like, if you really think about it, I had this revelation like a couple years ago that the song Reflection from Mulan is so, I cannot listen to it anymore without crying.
Makes me sob.
It makes me sob. And I'm just like, it's that thing. I'm like, how did I not, like, if I knew, like, if I had the language back then for what I know now, things would be so different. You know,
leagues
like
different.
why did I like masculine names so much? Why did I like characters that were girls that dressed up as boys and hid that from people? Like, why was I into that? Well,
yeah,
because I'm transgender. Turns out there was a reason for that.
Transgender.
You almost until 31 years age to realize that you're trans, and Mulan has been your favorite Disney movie since you came out. I love that. Mulan's such a great movie.
It's so good. I'm not really attached to a lot of Disney movies, but Mulan, that one hits.
Mulan's so
that
good.
one hits.
Does make you laugh looking back at the very obvious childhood signs. Very obvious ones. I remember being so young. I was. This is one of my the memory that I'm I was very young. I was in elementary school and I was doing piano lessons, and I had my piano teacher was this lady, but her name was Kyle, and I was like, that is the coolest thing. I was like, there's women named Kyle. That is so cool. And I was like, why can't my name be Kyle?
Kyle, the piano teacher.
So that, I was thinking back about that. I'm like, there was something there. I was very obsessed with women and girls that had masculine, traditionally masculine names, you know? Also, LV, welcome in.
Yeah,
Steve.
that was me, and noticing, realizing it was once I hit puberty and started going through puberty as someone that's born AFAB, I was like, these things gotta go immediately. I was like, this ain't it. This is not
gotta
it.
Go.
Little did I know that's called getting top surgery, and that's a thing called body this gender dysphoria. I didn't know. I was just there's nothing wrong with them. They're fine. It's okay. I was like, but I don't want them here.
Yeah,
I don't want them. I don't need
rather
them.
if they just go away. That would
I've
be
been
ideal.
talking about it since I was in early high school, and I was later
same,
on, obviously, figured out I was trans, and I was like, the lines, they're connected. It's all making sense.
The
here.
dots have been connected.
Yeah.
What on that topic? Let's talk about here. Let's talk about. I'm gonna talk about. Actually, do you want to talk about one?
Talk about one.
Talk about comic. We gotta flip flop between.
A little flop.
Yeah, we. Here, you talk about one, and I'll.
Let's see. Okay. I feel like this kind of ties in with Ouran High School as well. It's not strictly a queer comic, but it is in a very much sense of gender bend. It's a woman dressing up as a man to go to school, which is a whole thing. It's called Humor Me, and it's by Marvin. I believe it's on both Webtoons and Tapas. And it's a story about Charlie. Also, speaking of Heartstopper. Love the name. I feel like Charlie is just
Charlie's a good one.
Such a good name.
That's a good name.
But Charlie is just trying to get her high school diploma, and is trying to take care of her younger brother while her dad is off being, a deadbeat dad. Love that. And it's basically she's disguised as a boy at school because it's an all boys school, and she's is there on scholarship. It's really similar to Ouran High School in terms of the premise, except for it is an all boys school, and it's just I can see some romance budding, and I'm really excited because I haven't finished this one yet. I'm not caught up. But it is just it's similar to this was one of the first comics that I kind of found that I was like, oh. There's the feeling again from the same feeling that I saw when I got when I was watching Ouran High School and whatnot. But also it's like slice of life. It's a comedy, which is like so much like it's so lighthearted and nice. And I feel like it handles it's or in high school if it was made in the modern day and,
And
aged
not-
well.
Yeah, and aged well. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I love. I think it's really fantastic. Would definitely recommend the read. It's pretty long. It's like there's like 16 chapters, something like that. It's like
Okay. Yeah.
it's big boy.
Wait, is it like so? Is it like completed, or is it still like
no.
ongoing?
God no.
No?
There's only one comic that I'm talking about today that is completed. I'm so
no.
sorry for anyone that only likes complete works because I don't got them for you. I only got in progress.
Okay, so since we're talking about like characters dressing up as the opposite gender, let's talk about one of my favorites, The Prince and the Dressmaker. This book is so good. This is probably one of my favorites. And I also heard that apparently they're gonna they're in talks to turn it into like an animated movie, I think. But basically it's about a prince who likes to dress up in like women's clothes and like wear like pretty dresses, and so he hires the dressmaker to like make those for him, but he's like trying to like at first he was like trying to hide it that way she didn't know it was him, and then like she found out and she still like agreed to like make the dresses for him. It's so good. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to get into like potential spoilers. But it's so good. It's so good. And I just want to like talk to so many people about this and tell you that you should read it because both of these characters are definitely queer in like some way. And it's completed. It's completed. So you can like start it and finish it, and it's really good. And like the art style, hold on. I'm gonna try to find something not
Momo's got the
spoilery.
completed works.
I have the completed works.
You get a little bit of
Like
both.
look at the art style. Look at how like that's
It's
him.
so sweet.
That's him wearing like the dress and like dressed up. That's the wait, hold on. There's
I'm gonna cry.
the dressmaker. That's him all dressed up. And like it's so good. Also Ellie,
I love
welcome
that.
in. It's so good.
Can I
Highly
borrow that?
recommend. Yeah, you can borrow it.
I'm gonna
Prince
read
and the
a bunch of your
Dressmaker.
comics when I visit.
This was actually one of the ones I got this because it was for the comic book club that I was in, and so it was so great. And I think that I was actually the only queer person in the comic book club, so it was nice to like go there and be like, I like this because I am a non-binary person and I feel like the prince is like in the non-binary, like that's how I had canon it, and I was like, this is so good. But it's also great to like go in to like a comic book club where they're discussing like queer comics and stuff like that, and like hearing what other people like thought about it that maybe like they probably would never have like picked this up if it wasn't for like the club. So highly
so
recommend. Abby, you do need to read it. Cassandra, read it. Everybody should definitely read this. I very much enjoy it. It was very cute, made me feel things. 10 out of 10.
I love that so much.
All right, what
So
else do you got?
All right. This is one that I've recommended. I started reading this. It was kind of more recently that I picked this one up. And I binged it immediately. It was so good. And a new episode came out this morning and I read it and sobbed.
Oh, I think
Like,
I know
it's so
I
good.
think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, listen, I don't know if my mic is in frame, but I've got the sticker here. I've got one on my phone. I've got prints of this comic already, and I like literally read this comic like maybe a few weeks ago. I've never bought prints of something so fast in my life. It's called Your Wings and Mine by Hakai, I believe is how you pronounce their name. Fantastic. If you're into like supernatural, like angels and demons kind of vibes, it's also a slice of life, which we love. I love slice of life so much. It's
So
just
good.
so cute. It's so good. And then also it's a comedy as well. And so it's heavy at times and there's like a little bit of angst. But it is just so lighthearted and so fun, and like it does comedy really well, I feel like, because it's not like I don't know. It's so good. But it's about Shealtiel, who is an angel who is like really bad at his job, really bad at being an angel, not good at it. And he gets put on this assignment to like, to like track and kind of like see this like, like larger like demon lord or whatever. Turns out it's the demon prince. and he can't kill him. He's like, he's really bad at it. And every time this is the best part about this whole comic for me, every time he sees like a demon's wings, he vomits, which is hilarious to me. It's really lighthearted. It is a slow burn, which also it's like a Romeo and Juliet story. Like they can't be together, but also like
honestly, I'm a sucker for like forbidden romance.
It's forbidden
I don't
romance.
know if it's because
like demons.
Like I don't know if
So
it's
good.
because like, you know, like growing up like on the topic of like you know, like a queer like you know, like gay like manga and stuff back in the day, it was always seen as like forbidden romance because it's two men and stuff like that. I don't know if that's why I still like
I feel like that has to be
just
part of it,
love a
like-
good forbidden romance.
I love it. I also am like a huge fan of Romeo and Juliet, to be honest.
Honestly,
so
yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does like it's a really good job of like making their queerness is like not their entire personality. It's not the main plot. Like their relationship is like much more prominent as friends than it is as like, you know, slow burn to lovers. It's very big.
But is it
slow burn, and I'm
enemies?
just like,
Is it like enemies to lovers too?
yeah.
Kind of. Oh.
Yeah, but like they're really bad at being enemies. They know from the beginning, let's be honest. They're bad. They're supposed to be enemies, but they're like but it's like it's so good. It's so good.
I actually did
And
start it and I need to finish it.
hold on. I have prints from that. You know what? That's one thing I can show. I don't have any physical copies, but I have prints of this.
Is there physical versions of it? Because you know, like sometimes
No,
artists put out, like...
I'm literally sitting on the edge of my seat. As soon as there's a physical version of this book, I'm buying it. I've never wanted to buy anything more in my life. I'll have to find it.
Have an
like
animal
amongst
puppy. I actually
my Genshin prints.
when you're done talking about this, we have
Yeah.
to talk about Princess Jellyfish because I was gonna talk about Princess Jellyfish while we were talking about the Prince and the Dressmaker, and I forgot, but now I
don't know
remember.
where my other frame is, but I have one that's not framed right now. So this is like the vague art style of it. It is so gorgeous. It's a little Momo. It's a little emo boy.
Little,
like
you
you-
know, I
it's
love
like-
little emo boys.
It's a little emo boy right here. Genuinely, it's just like it's so fun, so lighthearted. Like if you just want like a really nice like light read, I say go for it. Again, it updates also every like 10 days, which I feel like is a nice
That's
amount
really
of
good.
time.
Yeah,
It's so good. Oh,
good.
you up to this morning? It's just starting to get real juicy, real good.
Princess Jellyfish. If you are a big fan of Princess Jellyfish, you will definitely like The Prince and the Dressmaker. Or if you've already read The Prince and the Dressmaker, watch or read the manga for Princess Jellyfish because it's the same concept. So there's a guy who likes to dress in like feminine clothes and like, you know, like present as a girl, and then like I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I haven't read the comic, or did I? But I watched the anime.
I haven't read or seen.
It's so you would love
This
it.
is
It's
new
so
for me.
good. Also, Shan, thank you for the pronoun check, y'all. Everybody in the chat, if you would like to share your pronouns, you're more than welcome to do so at this time. That way we know how to properly refer to each other. Or if you don't want to share your pronouns, that's okay, because pronouns are confusing. Or if you're using new
Gender's so
pronouns,
confusing.
but also gender doesn't equal pronouns. I'll raise you that one.
You're so right.
What else was I gonna say? Hold on, I lost my If you're using new pronouns, let us know. We can celebrate that. My pronouns are they, them.
My pronouns are they, he.
And if nobody's told you, chat room, your pronouns look good on you. Your pronouns look good on you today.
They look so good.
So good, chat room. Princess Jellyfish. Yeah, so, you know, it's a guy, he's wearing like girl clothes or, you know, like traditionally feminine clothes, and there's the main character like lives in like this women's only like housing, and they're supposed to be like, you know, like the outcasts, and like they're like, oh, they're not like conventionally attractive like women, but then she meets like this beautiful woman that ends up being a boy, and like he's not supposed to be like in the house because like men aren't allowed in there, and she's like oh my gosh, and he's like, or I don't know, if I remember like correctly, she was asking him about like why he did it, and he was like, I don't know, I just like doing it. She's like, I just like dressing like this, like I like feeling pretty, and like it's so good. And of course, you know, it's the same with The Prince and the Dressmaker, like, you know, you can see the romance budding on the cover. And it's the same in Princess Jellyfish. Like, it's like over time you can tell that there's like a romance kind of gonna be happening between the two. And it's
Oh God,
Highly
I love
recommend.
that so much.
highly recommend.
So much.
Gonna talk about wait, you're gonna talk about Game Manga now. Bring out the blueprint JoJo's. Okay, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I know nothing about.
Even
JoJo's,
though
I'm
it's
sorry.
not like, it's very campy. It's like not inherently queer, but it also is.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to explain because especially like, I mean, if you look at it, you're like that. It's so. There's a reason why there's a lot of queer JoJo fans. It's just because even though it's not queer, like it is, because it's just so campy and like over the top and just like, I don't know how else to really explain it. But it's very good. It's very
I
good.
haven't seen any of it or read any of it.
I quite enjoy it. It's a little
It
much.
is out of my wheelhouse. I feel like.
The first 3 parts are a little like harder to get through, and then
Mhm.
like I feel like parts 4, part 4 is like my favorite. That one was my favorite. Part 5 is I'm going through now, and it's really good, but it is very campy. Even if it's not like meant to be queer, it's very queer. Another quick little one that I will talk about. It's not like, I mean, it's a comic, but it's like a guide. And that is Archie's quick and easy guide to they them pronouns, which I feel like is a must. This book is $8 in USD. And it's this, you can buy this and give this to all your friends.
Just hand it out like it's my
Hand it
business.
out like a
That's so,
pamphlet.
like-
Be like, you need some help with they them pronouns. Here you go. Quick
Here you
and
go.
easy guide. It's painless. Also unstable. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in, homie. Welcome in, Orion.
Homie.
Welcome in. It's really good. It's like, I have had a lot. I've actually like, I haven't like given this, but I've like let people borrow this. But it's just, you know, like a cute little style. That actually like discusses, you know, like, hey, just because I look like this doesn't mean, you know, that I'm okay with like these pronouns, and it like breaks down, you know, like, oh, how do you use like proper pronouns, and like, how do you ask people, you know, like what pronouns they use, And like on this page it says, now one might be asking, why would somebody choose to use gender neutral pronouns? There's a huge list of reasons, but the truth is, it doesn't stinking matter. It doesn't matter why you would choose to use gender neutral pronouns. It doesn't matter. You still should respect them. And it also says you aren't owed an explanation or reason for someone wanting to use different pronouns. Highly recommend. $8. Really cheap, quick and easy guide to they them pronouns. How many pages is this? 62 pages.
I love that.
And on the back, look, there's even a chart. Hold on.
Yo.
Hey, there's a chart. Subject, object, possessive. Look at that. And there's even the neopronoun Z down there. And then there's a little script on how to ask someone's pronouns in the back. Look. Isn't that great? Look at this.
That's actually so cute.
10 out of 10.
I kind of love that. I feel like I want.
Buy this for your friends, your parents, your boss, your teachers. I don't know.
I like that.
Really good. But again, it's called A Quick and Easy Guide to They Them Pronouns. Also, the author of this comic book, we are mutuals on TikTok.
Wow. Okay. Momo's got connections, y'all.
I feel like being mutuals on TikTok isn't that impressive. Because they literally made a TikTok and they were like, ooh, let's be mutuals. And I was like, I follow you on Twitter and I have your comic book. And then they're like, cool, I'll follow you.
Oh, wait, I love that though.
Right? Very good. Okay. You could talk about comic.
Okay. Listen, we're going back to the supernatural vibes because that's again the only queer comics I read apparently.
I was flexing, yeah.
Yeah, a little flex right there.
I was,
It's,
yeah.
You know, it's fine. I think the one I want to really talk about is it's called Seemingly Dark. It is also, guess what? In progress, not finished. I believe it's on Webtoons and Tapas. I mostly read most of my comics on Tapas because I like the UI a lot better, but you know.
I'm gonna have to look
it's
at
also
it.
on Webtoons, which I feel like people have. But this, it is so good. It's this one. There are some like content warnings for this comic, but the author is like really good about putting them above every chapter that needs them, even if it's something that is like mentioned in passing. There's a content warning for it. So I feel like it makes it super accessible in that way. And it is like a slow burn supernatural like webcomic because I love slow burn. There's something about it that I'm like, I'll eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Thank you so much. But it's about a group of pals, and the representation and the diversity among the main group of like characters is astounding. It makes me want to cry when I think about it. It is so good, and it's not like shoved in your face sort of like representation. It's just like that's just who they are, which is like great. Because I feel like sometimes there's things where it's like, well, look, here's this character that they're here for the diversity option.
Yeah,
it's just like it is just like how it is, which I love. But they're in the PNW, which, you know, we love that. And it's very like supernatural, paranormal sort of vibes in terms of like what they're going through. And one of them picks up like a mysterious hitchhiker who's like 16, and that just basically turns all of their lives upside down. And, you know, I don't want to like spoil a lot of like stuff, but, you know, a bunch of things kind of ensue from that.
Shenanigans and whatnot.
Yeah, and I feel like this one does really well. Like there's a non-binary character, there's an ace character, there is like a gay character. I believe there's someone that is like they're either bi or lesbian, but I don't know which. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's ever talked about until like maybe later. And it's just like it's a really good representation also of just like how queerness manifests differently in everyone, and like how not every queer person is the same. Like not one single queer person is the same, and they all like they'll deal with their queerness differently, and like how they've like, you know, come into their identity, and like how they express their identity is like all very different. And it's like really good. It gives me very Welcome to Night Vale vibes. If anybody, you know, used to listen / like, yeah, I guess like listen to that. It's very similar in terms of the type of like paranormal vibes. Talks about like liminal spaces a lot, and like
okay, I gotta read this.
I feel like you would love. It's so good.
I gotta read it.
It's updated once a month, so it is like a bit of a, you know, like slower update schedule, but like it's so worth it.
Is it like a chapter a month, or
it's
like...
yeah, the updates are pretty long monthly.
Okay, that's good then.
Yeah, there's ace rep. It's really fantastic too. It's just
that's something. There's like some comics that I've seen that I haven't gotten yet, but I'm like, ooh, like I feel like maybe maybe we should buy more queer comics and then like read them all, and then like have another stream where we talk about the new ones we read.
That. Yes,
because there's so many, and I feel like I need motivation to like buy them and like read.
We'll have our own little comic book club. Don't you worry.
Our own little comic book club. Who wants to join our queer comic book club? So speaking actually of ace representation, this is the book that I binge read last night. Took me an hour to read.
Yes.
Wasn't bad, but it's called Genderqueer. And it is actually a memoir of the author and their like journey to like coming out. But they are ace as well as like, and so it like talks about like that and like their like journey to like figure that stuff out. It was so good. There's a lot of stuff in this book that I really connected with. And there was like it was so good talking about like fandoms and like shipping in fandoms and like how that had like a big part. And then like the last page, like there was a message on the last page that just made me sob. Like
it's
it's just like a little message on the very last page, and I just like broke down in tears, happy tears. But like this, it was so relatable. But it's a memoir of the author called Genderqueer. Highly recommend. This was so good. And apparently, there's an interesting fact. This book was there is like some content where it's a little, it's not like mature, but it does have like more mature like conversations in it, and some images. And apparently this book was is actually being banned in schools for the content that is in it.
Oh man.
But I highly recommend. It is very good. It's being banned unreasonably, I should say.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's very good. Highly recommend. Ace representation, genderqueer representation. I connected with this so much. It was so good. So good. Always read banned books. Always. I think one of the things that I really connected with is the author was talking about like dressing up in like a masculine costume for the first time. And I'm just like, yep, I remember that feel.
Yeah.
So good. And like cutting your hair short for the first time. And like
the first time I shaved my head.
The author even talked about like reading queer books and like comics for the first time. And just all so relatable. Like this book is almost about me.
Almost,
but not quite.
Yeah.
But just, it was very good. Highly recommend.
Definitely.
They follow the author on Insta, do fundraisers where they'll sketch people if you donate to certain funds. Wait, that's so good. I love that. Brooklyn Library gives free digital access to any youth in the U.S. to read banned books. Wait, that's so cool.
Oh, that's actually incredible, dude.
Yeah, that's
public
really good.
Libraries are the like
Public, I feel
pillar
like
of society.
Yeah, I feel like that's a thing. Like, I mean, when I was younger, like I went to public libraries, but I feel like nowadays people are like forget that public libraries are like good resources for stuff. So y'all go and support your local libraries. You never know what kind of treasures you're gonna find there.
Yeah.
Emrys, where do you read your? Where do you recommend reading for your online comics?
Most of my stuff I read on Tapas if it's available on Tapas, because I like their their interface a lot better. I feel like it's a lot easier for me to navigate. But I also read on Webtoons, which I feel like are the two like big ones. Webtoons, Tapas, and then occasionally I'll read something on like a website if it's available. I think like Check Please is website only. I haven't read that in like a really long time, but I think that one's only on a website.
I have Webtoon, and then like if I'm obviously like a web comic is gonna be on Webtoon, but if I'm reading a manga, I had a Crunchyroll subscription, so I had like the manga app for that. I pretty much only used my Crunchyroll subscription to read manga.
I used to. I don't remember how I used to read the One Piece manga. I haven't read manga like on my phone in a really long time. I just buy physical copies at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to buy more physical copies now. Because I like collecting things. I like touching. I like
love collecting
having
things.
books in my hands, and it's just very satisfying.
I just want to have all my favorite things as physical copies.
Keep hearing
Webkins. Yeah,
Webkins.
I love Webkins.
Wait, public libraries even give out seeds? So good. Very good.
Gosh.
Goblin, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Wait, hold on. Speaking of web comics, there is one that I want to talk about. I almost forgot about this, but there is a web comic I want to talk about. That is a slice of life. It's a slice of life, but it's called Always Raining Here. It's by Hazel and Belle, who are an author and like artist like combo. But it's basically about like two characters. One of them is openly gay, and the other one, he's kind of like trying to figure out like how he aligns. But since like he knows that the other character is like openly gay, he's like going up and like being all like trying to flirt with him and stuff like that. And then the other character is like, oh, you're only flirting with me because I'm the only one here, and it's so good. It is a little bit more on. It's not like mature, but I would recommend like 16 plus. If you want to read it, you could read it on Webtoons or on their website, alwaysraininghere.com. But it's so good. It is finished, so you don't have to wait for anything. It is finished.
Really, we're two sides of the same coin here, Momo.
It is finished, but it's really good, and it's just about how them and like the one of the characters, you know, like trying to come to terms with like his sexuality, and then the other character had like a liked somebody who didn't like him back, and you know, typical like slice of life stuff, but queer, and it's so good. It was so cute, and you could actually buy.
Liking it.
Yeah,
and read their other comic that they.
Yeah, there is another comic.
And there's an unfinished comic
there
that they have as well. There is an unfinished
comic that they are working on. But also for Always Raining Here, they do have physical copies that you can buy on their website. But the same authors, Hazel and Bell, have another comic that they are working on called Electric Bones. It is a sci-fi comic. It is very good.
The most gender envy.
There's a robot. What are they called in the comic? They're called something else. They're not, but like they're like androids, right? There's like androids, and there's like different version. There's like different kinds of androids. There's like the gray ones that are more like have like free will, I guess, and then there's the other ones that don't.
Yeah.
But like the main android is just peak gender
I get gender
envy.
envy from both of the main characters. And I'm just like, these are the two things I would like to be. If I could.
Wait, where's the? Hold on, I want to read off the the like description of it. The like, was it synopsis or whatever?
Yeah.
For it is so good. Wait, hold on.
And the art style is like
the art style.
It's such a beautifully drawn comic.
It's so interesting to like read. If you start Always Raining Here, the shift in like art from the first page to like the last page, because obviously like the artist's style has like progressed and has like changed, and like, you know, they like grew as the comic went on. So you get to like watch their art style change, and then especially now with Electric Bones, you like see the art style is like so different than like their first webcomic. But it's so good. Wait, did you find the thing?
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah. Well, this is the what they have on Webtoons, but it says Lucian has just been fired from his dream job. Irritated and aimless, he's invited by his friends to go on a cruise trip into deep space. Lucian plans on spending his time on board, indulging in every illicit activity and substance in the galaxy, but his plans are cut short when he ends up crossing paths with a familiar face, a robot who has an uncanny resemblance to the coworker who got him fired. Ooh, enemies to lovers.
Enemies. Also, hi Opal, welcome in.
I
Hope you're doing well.
I could eat that up literally all day.
But I remember there was one like one description of it that mentioned that like referred to it as like it's about like a robot and like a crypto bro, and like
yeah,
it's like something really ridiculous.
There
like
are
that.
some like mature topics in that one as well.
Yeah, there are mature topics in that one as well.
And it updates every Thursday, which is nice.
Every Thursday. Yeah, updates weekly, 1 page every week. Highly recommend. RIP to all the books you had to give away because you simply did not have enough room in your car. RIP Toasty. So sorry.
Listen, I moved across the country 3 times. And the amount of books I just kept getting bigger. I did leave a bunch of them at my parents' house, but it was I didn't move the book boxes. Everyone else did.
I mean, every time I've moved, I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, but not like
I will never.
There's like some things that I just cannot get rid of.
There's something about books specifically that I'm just like, well, I know I'm just gonna rebuy it, and like the money means more to me than like
there's
having
like
to like.
There's so many like old, like manga in particular that I have that I did that thing where I would buy like the first 2 volumes of a manga and then like never buy any more. Not because I didn't want to, I just would forget. I would just buy another 2 of the first volumes. I have a lot of volumes 1 and 2 of different manga that I'm like, I will never. I have volumes 1 and 2 of One Piece that I bought in like middle school. About One Piece. Bought them in middle school. So yeah.
Me with I like for some reason have just volume 1 of Bleach, and that's the only. I read it and have not touched it again.
At this point, I feel like there's a lot of comics, especially like with manga. They come out with like the box sets that are like the complete collections. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy those because then I don't have to buy the individual ones. I actually have a complete set, like a box set of like all the Scott Pilgrim like comics.
Oh yeah.
Highly recommend. Ein, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Okay, what have we not talked about? This one. Let's talk about this one. This one. If you like Heartstopper, you will love this one.
I'm so excited.
Bloom. Bloom. This, I had seen this comic like anytime I like looked up queer comics, this was like one of the ones. I feel like this is one of the ones that's like, read this one. This one is so good. It is about this character. I don't remember any names because I read it so long ago and I just have a bad memory.
They do just look
for
like Charlie names. Nick, which
they honestly,
so
honestly, yeah. Look
like
at them.
It's just Charlie 2.0.
Look at them. So
it's like, oh.
So the main character works in like his family's bakery, and then like this other character like comes in to like he doesn't want to work at the family bakery. I think, is he a musician? I think he has like a band, or like he makes music with his friends. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. I think it was something like that. Basically, he doesn't want to take over the family business. He doesn't want to work at the bakery. So he meets like the other character, and he like wants to work at the bakery. So he like convinces his parents to like hire him, and he's like passionate about baking, and then they like work together.
That's actually so cute.
And like make stuff, and there's like in the back of the book, there's actually a recipe. Wait, hold on. Is it in the back?
No.
Or is it the front?
I'll cry.
Hold on. Wait, where is it? Where is it? There's actually a recipe in the book for something that they make. Where is it? I must find it. There it is. Famous sourdough rolls from their bakery. There's an actual like recipe for the rolls. Look at that. I haven't made them yet. I really wanted to, because you know at the beginning of the pandemic when everybody was
making their sourdough.
I had a sourdough starter. I was the baker at the beginning of the pandemic. I baked a lot of bread.
God, I love that.
I baked so much bread. I can make a mean baguette.
Why have you never made me a baguette?
I'll make you baguette. Yeah, I'm gonna start baking bread in the middle of summer when you come to visit.
Yeah.
Wait, now you already working at it. Wait, Goblin, you work at a bakery with your partner? Really?
Okay, you're living my dream.
Also,
I don't know how to bake,
have a
but you're
good
living
night.
my dream.
I will teach you how to bake. We'll be just like in the book. But it's so good. So yeah, basically like, you know, the two characters, they like start to fall in love, and there's like,
I need to read it so
there's
bad.
like a tragic thing that happens, and there's like oh, it makes you feel emotions. It's so good. It causes you pain, and then
I love that.
it, like, ugh, it's so good. Highly recommend. I need to reread this. I'm like looking at all these and I'm like, man, I need to reread these comics.
This is making me just want to read more things. I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do with the rest of my day? Read?
Yeah, and I really like, there's like baking montages in it. Hold on. There's like, wait,
so
I gotta
cute.
They like, look at this. Look at, they're like working in the bakery. Look at that.
I'm
Look at
really
how
in love.
it's so good. I love bread, you know? I'm a big fan.
Mood.
They're in the kitchen baking, you know, and I just love the colors. Honestly, I just like the blue tones like
It's
throughout
so
the comic.
gorgeous.
It's really nice.
Mm.
I'm a big fan. Wait, here's like a, you know, darker because it's nighttime. I really like it. Love a bread. Max, let me just romanticize your job real quick. Wait,
Romanticize your life.
Here you go. Romanticize your life. working in a bakery, and then you fall in love, and then it's just life is good.
Good.
It's
So
great.
good.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
All right. I've got this next one. Listen, really lighthearted, really sweet. This one's not. I'm sorry. This one's real
Pain.
rough.
Pain.
It's not like so. It's called The King in the Sun by Raven and Blue Jay. I believe it is also a artist-writer duo. I believe that they're partners as well. I believe that they're partners and they make this comic together. And it is about I'll read like the little blurb for it because I feel like that kind of helps like paint a picture. After his boyfriend's mysterious passing, an inspiring investigator decides to take matters into his own hands with the help of a stranger allegedly from his lover's past. And so it takes place in they're in late high school and then one of them is in college. And it's about this kid kind of like he moves to a new school, meets this boy, and they like kind of, you know, slowly like they have like a weird competition between them in terms of like who's the better, like, you know, who's smarter and who's like better than like things, and then, you know, they fall in love. But that's not the story. That's not the story. They're together, they're boyfriends. But then there is like a huge content warning for this, and it does talk about it in the it deals with really heavy themes of like, you know, grief and like passing and things like that.
Oh no.
But the main character is like well, I don't think that my boyfriend did what they think that he did. And so he takes it on himself to become an investigator, and he meets someone who supposedly knew his boyfriend in the past, and like they end up becoming kind of friends. Like they're like partners in crime because they're trying to like, you know, investigate his like death and everything like that. And it's so incredible. If you like Sherlock or like things similar to Sherlock in terms of like vibes of like investigating things and like putting together pieces of like a murder mystery, this is the comic for you. Not finished, unfortunately. Really sad. Not finished.
Classic.
That one's for you. And I believe it updates. It's like I think it's a monthly updates as well, and there tend to be a little bit longer updates. Or it's maybe not. It might be like every like other week or something like that. And it's really good. It's like a nice murder mystery, which I enjoy. This one does, again, it deals with heavy content and it talks about a lot of things. It really delves into a lot of stuff, but it's like, the puzzle pieces that kind of come together in like watching the main character, one, realize that he did not know his boyfriend nearly as much as he thought he did in terms of just like his background and his past and like what he was into and things like that. Like he didn't know him as well as he did, but then also like finding new love again, and like it's so good. It's really it's made me feel a lot of emotions. I've cried
Honestly,
a lot.
Yeah. If something, I'm a big fan, like if something makes me like physically feel a way, that's how I know it's good. Like the one I read yesterday that made me cry a little bit. That's how I know. Like I'm like, ooh, it's so good.
And it's just like, yeah, I feel like this one is also a lot of the twists and turns and just the like, I like remember the first time I've reread this one recently to kind of catch myself back up. But I remember the first time I read it, I was like taken aback. Like it was something that like genuinely, like I was like, oh my god, I wasn't like prepared for this to take its turn. I thought it was gonna be like more so like very like slice of life kind of vibe, and then it was just like it's a murder mystery, and it's like very like you gotta put the puzzle pieces together. You've got the red string that you're like, you know, dragging all over the place. You're like trying to figure it out. It's the photo of
like
Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's like
Sylvia,
this,
and he's like
that's me when I read this. I'm like, I need to get the red string out and like start making things
man.
on my wall. But I definitely recommend if you're into some mystery. It's also there's some comedy involved, and it's really nice. And it's just like, I think it might get a little supernatural, but I really don't know. It hasn't gotten there yet, but I feel like there's inklings of it maybe happening.
Big
at
fan,
some point.
you know, I'm a big fan of the supernatural.
I just love fantasy and supernatural. What can I say? I'm a one-trick horse, okay? I only know one thing and one thing only.
Literally fantasy and supernatural and like sci-fi. So good, so good.
Bread and butter, baby.
Speaking of sci-fi,
I can pull this one out too.
this is one, but you haven't read this one yet.
No.
And I will admit, I have not finished this, and you will see why I have not finished this. The next one we're gonna talk about is On a Sunbeam. I put a sticky note in here. I have made it. This is a very thick book. This is a very hefty. This is a graphic novel. This is a graphic novel. Very
puts the novel in graphic
very
novel.
It puts the novel in graphic novel. I have made it. Hold on, I actually have a bookmark. Wait. Where is it? I've made it this. I've read this much of this book. And I got this one. Again, this was also for my comic book club. And here's a funny story. Got it from my comic book club. I bought it the week of the club. I bought it on a Monday, and our meeting was Thursday. I went to the comic book store, grabbed it, and I was like, oh no. Because I didn't know how thick it was. I was like, I got time, you know, because we read other things that were like fairly simple. But not only is it thick, but there's, you know, like, there's like a lot of like text and like images in it. So everybody did not finish it, you know, read, you know, that much. And went to the comic book club meeting. I was not the only person that didn't finish this book. Nobody there finished it. Because it's so big. But, here, let me read one of the little reviews on the back that I was reading earlier that I think is really good. It says, On a Sunbeam is a slow burn romance and a found family space opera adventure with an engaging cast of characters and a gloriously strange setting that is brilliantly original. So if slow burn romance and found family space opera adventure doesn't sound 10 out of 10 amazing to you. But one thing that I do remember, like, this is the only thing that I remember from what I read, because I'm gonna have to go back and just like reread this book. But I remembered very specifically there is a non-binary character in this book that is actually mentioned. That's what I sticky noted was the part where they talk about the character. Because it was just so casual. Because, you know, like, I feel like in like some comics, if there's like a non-binary character, they have the potential to like make a big deal about it and be like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. But this one, it just felt like so casual and so natural. But they're talking about the character. The character's name is Elle. And they don't talk. They don't like speak. But so they're basically like the premise of the story is they're all like on it's a restoration crew that travels to the deepest reaches of space, rebuilding beautiful broken structures to piece the past together. Two girls meet in a boarding school and fall deeply in love, only to learn the pain of loss with two interwoven timelines and stunning art. Award-winning graphic novelist. Yeah, this author, Tilly Walden, has also written like some other graphic novels.
This one right here.
That one.
One of her other works.
That I want to pick up. But
I don't know if this one's gay though. I don't know if it's. I'm assuming it seems like most of their stuff
has like probably like queer characters, even if it's not like necessarily queer.
Yeah.
But I wanted to.
This one's also a little smaller.
Significantly,
a little easier to
significantly smaller.
Where's the?
Yeah, put them side by side.
I picked these both up this weekend.
Ooh,
and there's the difference.
It's like twice the size.
It is twice the size, if not a little bit over twice.
Yeah, maybe a little. Yeah, about twice.
Yeah.
But so they're talking like, so basically everybody gets to the spaceship. They like meet each other and they're gonna like do the, you know, they're gonna be working together to restore the stuff in space. And so they're new on the ship, and one of the characters goes, "Oh, an L doesn't talk. No one told me that when I got here, and I felt like an idiot, and they're non-binary, and nobody told me." So I thought that was fun. Like that's literally the only mention of that character, like of you being like, "Oh, you learn like that character's non-binary," and so everybody and they use they them pronouns, and it's I thought it was really great. I'm like, look at that. I think this was actually the first comic that I started reading that had a non-binary character in it, actually.
Yeah,
This was it, because I don't think, I'm trying to remember, I don't think I've read anything else with a non-binary character, to be honest.
So
I know
Seemingly
they're
Dark
out
has
there.
one, but like that was the first one I read, and that was it.
Yeah, it's like, obviously I know they're out there, but I'm just like, I have not actually read, well, besides like the memoir and that stuff, but this was definitely the first one. Yeah, the art style is beautiful. The story so far is really great, but it's a hefty book to get through, and it like the world is so like fascinating. Like the world building in this is just like so, I don't know how to, it's just so interesting, you know, for being like a sci-fi. I feel like you know, like with fantasy worlds, there's like, I feel like the fantasy like type stuff is always so like similar, but then like you get into like the sci-fi stuff, and I feel like you can judge like a sci-fi like comic or like media based on like how they're doing the sci-fi, and this one is so interesting and different than like any other like kind of sci-fi media. There's like these like fish things that they ride on.
I was not prepared for that one.
Let me like I mean, here's just like a little peek at like the art style. Yeah, I mean, they go to like these places to like restore like stuff in space. Hold on, where's the fish? I almost forgot about it until I was like flipping through it. Show me the fish.
Show me the fish.
Where is it? Lost it. Wait. I mean, you can kind of like, this doesn't really, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in this panel, but you can kind of see like up here, there's like there's a fish. I don't know. They write these like little fish things.
I love that.
It's very interesting, but yeah, I need to get through it. It's just so big. Very, very large book. But yeah, it flips back and forth between like the past, when the characters were in boarding school, to like the present and like what they're doing and stuff.
That's actually so sick. I'm excited to, I think I'm gonna...
Wait, are you listening? Wait, both characters identify as gay according to the queer? Oh!
There we go. I was gonna say, from what I could tell, it seemed like Tilly Walden is very into having like queer representation.
Yeah, and there's like...
She also did Spinning, which is about ice skates and first love and coming out. Oh god, I need it.
Because it's in the back. I want to get that one. I feel like maybe like after we go through like all of these, maybe we could talk about like ones that we want to like read, and then like if anybody in the chat has like ones that you've read that you'd recommend, we would definitely like to hear about that.
They smell really good.
Okay, what do you got next on your list?
All right, I've got...
How many more? I think I actually went through...
I have 3 more I can talk about. And I have, I mean, I have obviously more than that. But those were like the 3 that I like brought up that I was like,
very good.
These are
Why don't we... Here, we'll talk about one more, and then maybe we can take like a quick break. And continue. Yeah. I'm
gonna talk about, let's see. I'm gonna say my only completed work that I have to talk about. I'm saving that one for last.
You know what? That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Saving that one for last. All right, this one uncompleted. I'm so sorry, or incomplete, I should say. That's the word for it.
Ongoing.
This one is called "To Be Honest" by Alyssa Colors. It is on Webtoons and Tapas. I think it might be monthly uploads, but I could be wrong. This one also deals with mature and kind of like some sensitive topics, but it is very good. It's not far in. There's like 46 like different like things to look at yet, but it's got me in a chokehold already. I love it so much. It's I'll like read the little blurb for it. After losing everything and ending up in an orphanage, Leon wants nothing more than to get his life back, his normal life back. And when you're desperately trying to fit in, it wouldn't help to get involved with the most hated guy in the entire school. Unfortunately, that guy happens to be Leon's roommate. So it feels like they're not quite enemies in the beginning, and it is a slow burn. His roommate is out as gay and is like very much seen as like the easy guy, like he's tries to get with everyone sort of deal, and is hated. He's hated at the school so much. And then like Leon is just trying to be normal, and so he like goes to under this like guise of like, oh, I don't actually live at the orphanage, I just was visiting there the other day, I don't know, like he tries to like keep up this whole thing, and it's like a big it's a lot of like trying to deal with like self-acceptance and also grieving, and kind of I guess being comfortable with who you are. It is a drama, it's slice of life, and it's not, like I said, not super far in, but I'm like already so enraptured with the characters, and like the art style is really gorgeous. Let me see if I can I don't know how well this will translate onto from my phone to the screen, but it is like so beautiful.
I read so much when we are done.
It's like, oh, it's so good.
We should definitely before we like wrap up, we'll post in chat like all of the ones that we talked about.
The one we've talked about, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can find
a good idea.
Like the updates are also really short, which is sad, but they're very good. I guess. Can I? Oh, here we go. Here's like the cover for it. Let's see if that.
Oh.
But that's the roommate there. And it's just like really gorgeous. Like again, like it's so new, and so I feel like I haven't really gotten to know a lot of the characters yet, and I can't obviously speak to what it's going to become, but so far it's got me like it's got me by the throat. I'm like, I want updates now. I want one now. I need one now.
It's so like I try so hard not to get into stuff that's super new just because I'm so impatient. Because I remember, especially like when we were talking about Always Raining Here, I remember when that like first started and came out, and it was like one page. It's the same. It's what Electric Bones is doing right now. So it's one page every week, and so you just get one page that you would get to read. Yeah. And so I'm like, and now I feel like I forget to like check on like things that are, or like to check for updates on like comics like
That's
that.
fair.
I just forget because now I'm so
really
used to like
about,
reading the physical ones. Yeah, I should do that honestly.
I get phone notifs for them when they're updated because I'm like, I need to know.
Yeah, I'm so impatient now that like I would prefer something that has a lot to like read.
A lot to like, yeah.
On.
This one, like I said, it's like I think it's into chapter 7, but it's like it's so new. So I think the chapters are only like 2 pages each, so they're like pretty short, pretty I mean, it's like a slice of life, which I feel like tends to have shorter chapters too.
True,
like they're like, here's a little like glimpse of this, and then kind of from there. But
very true.
It is. I really like it so far. I really like it.
All right, are you ready for a break?
Yeah, I'm down for a little break.
Also, hi Nixie, welcome in. We're gonna take a quick break, maybe like I don't know, 2 minutes. I just have to use the bathroom and get more water.
More water.
Get more water. Yeah. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. We're back.
Chat room.
Wait. Let me see if I can hit the right button this time. There we go.
Chat room.
Hello, we are back. Y'all had a good break too.
Mm-hmm.
I got some water.
I got mango lassi from an Indian food cart.
I want some. Sparkling water.
I bring you some. Don't worry.
Give me some, please. It sounds so really good.
It's not as like creamy as it normally is because it's been in the fridge for a little bit.
How long's a little bit?
This morning. Daniel
okay.
like, got back.
Okay.
Yeah, Daniel went out and then came back and then. Nah.
Got it.
Not
Got
like
it.
days old.
I was maybe thinking like a day, like one day maybe. You know, not like multiple days.
Oh my god.
All right. And now you got two more to talk about.
Yeah. One is gonna be. I'm sad to talk about it because I told you about it this morning when I said I was gonna go reread it. Turns out that the author is just like gone.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Don't know what happened.
Wait.
But I'll talk about this one first, and then I'll talk about the complete one because I think that it's still very much worth the read. Because the few, if there's like 79 like pages, sections, I guess, because I think there's only been like 4 chapters, but they're longer chapters. So, Cassandra, it is. Yes. This is from Your Wings and Mine. This sticker here, I love it. It's so this one is called All I Am by Cha is the Answer, but Cha is with 2 A's. So I don't know how to properly pronounce that, but I think that is correct. Have not been able to find them on Twitter. I don't know. They haven't updated this since February. So this one might be a lost cause, but you know what? I personally still think it is worth the read because it makes me, it's something about, I'll just read the blurb for y'all. So, Elijah Ramos has always been jealous of the girls around him. Wearing makeup, putting on pretty dresses, and crushing on cute boys are things he can't do openly without having his family judge him for it. That is, until he meets Axel Haynes, muscular, sporty, and God, those tattoos. Who knew a simple boy could color his world and change everything? All I Am is an LGBTQI+ webcomic about university life, love, and becoming the true to oneself. And it is just like...
I'm sorry, can you read the description about the other character again?
Oh, the tattoos. That's literally how it's written. It's written like that. Yeah, listen. Axel Haynes.
Oh,
he's muscular,
God.
He's sporty, and God, his tattoos are actually really nice. They're really beautifully drawn. It's got really good representation in general. I really like it, but it's about the kind of just exploration of one's, like, how you want to express yourself, how you want to, like, be perceived by others. And it's in college, and Elijah also kind of goes by Eli often. And so Eli goes to a party, but wants to go in like cross-dressing, like has been experimenting with cross-dressing and like trying to see, obviously doesn't do it often because terrified of what his family, like what their family thinks and stuff like that. And goes to a college party while like, has a wig on, has like a beautiful dress, looks stunning. And then Axel starts hitting him up and is like, you're so gorgeous, like obviously like is in love with this. And Eli kind of realizes like, oh my God, I have never felt this seen and this loved before in my life. And they live on the same floor. And so he was like, oh, Axel keeps coming up to Eli and is like, I saw that like beautiful girl that is like you're friends with. Like, I would love to talk to her. I want her number and stuff like that. And so it's just them kind of dancing around, the truth of that. And I don't know, I haven't read the like most recent updates, but it has not been updated and I really about it. I'm so sad. I hope the author is okay.
It's so
because
good.
it's really beautiful as well. It has a very similar style to Heartstopper in terms of like how the comics are drawn.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the characters are like drawn in very similar, very, very similar like style. It's so gorgeous. And I definitely, it's not finished. It's a bit sad that it's not finished, and I don't know if it ever will be now, but I feel like it's also definitely worth the read just for like, I'm fantasizing about what it could be like. And
What
sometimes
could
I like
be
that. And
Fanfic writing era.
listen,
we could totally discuss fanfic after we're
there
done
is
with these
I
feel like I can't dive into it. I'll just like keep trailing off. But
fanfic is its own thing.
Fanfic is its own thing.
And I am not joking when I say that I could talk about fanfic for months on end. Like
Honestly,
I think
yeah.
what I have to say, because I have been reading fanfic almost for most of my life, if not all my life.
Same, yeah.
Of like, and between different like fandoms and like I've also written fanfic. I'm like very like deep into the fanfic kind of like.
I have written a
universe.
fanfic or two.
And it's, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You'll never find them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you'll never find them.
You'll never find them. Gamers will never find
They're
them.
in my Google Docs drafts. Oh man.
But yeah, it is that's like a whole other thing. I'll just write a fanfic of what I think this is gonna become.
Do it.
There we
Do
go.
it. And it's funny. You should talk about your last comic before we start diving into conversations about fanfiction.
Okay, I mean, yeah, this one. Okay, gamer. It's. Listen, we've all been waiting for it. Here's the one that's completed.
The completed one.
The completed
Chat.
thing.
Can we get a round of applause? Emrys is talking about a completed comic.
Me reading something completed.
A web
Funny.
comic that's completed.
Web comic.
Yeah.
And it's been completed for quite a while. It is called Life Outside the Circle. It is by H.P. Lakenin. I think they're Norwegian. Nope, they're Finnish. I'm sorry, it's all very similar to me. It's fine. They are queer. They are queer and they are trans, and they have written a lot of other comics that I kind of found on their website that I love. I feel like I need to write. I think they're also like the head of like the Finnish Comic Society. Like they're very well known within the like Finnish comic circle, I think. And this one's called Life Outside the Circle. The little like blurb for it is: Life Outside the Circle is the story of Sammy, a Finnish queer artist who inherits a house in the countryside. He moves in expecting to live a more authentic life, but things aren't as easy. His neighbor, single dad Juha, helps him out and they fall in love. And it is, it's so good. He falls in love with his neighbor. Falls in love with his neighbor who has a daughter. And there's they have a dog, there's a dog.
Oh my god.
And it's just like, it's someone who is like very much, I think like, much more, I feel like not like is in touch with like life itself, like not grounded in reality. Like he's an artist. He was like living in like a city, has like very just like, he's not like a bad person, but it's just like maybe not as in touch with reality as like, one would be. And it's just him coming to terms with like one living out in the countryside entirely. And it's so, the art style is beautiful. It's like a pretty easy, like short read. It's like about, I think it's about 44 chapters, or like episodes, I guess. And it's very, very easy read. Very, very easy read. It's stunning. It's so stunning. And it's also, it's heartwarming. It's like lighthearted. There's not real heavy trauma or anything. It's just like a story. It's very similar to Heartstopper. It's just a story of just like two men falling in love, and it's like really gorgeous. And the characters are like, ooh,
I need to read
they're
this.
smoking. It's really good.
Smoking.
It's on Webtoons.
Webtoons, okay. I gotta read this.
Yeah, that one is only on Webtoons. It's not on
I gotta read them all.
I believe it might be on their website as well. Nope, just kidding. It's only on Webtoons. I lied.
Okay.
Webtoons.
I need to
only.
just like browse on like Webtoon more to like look for stuff. I just kind of
I'll
forget
send
about
you
it.
an even longer list. I
Please. Also,
Such
speaking
a
of
long
lists, here is my list. I'm gonna post it in chat. Here's a list of the ones that I talked about. Hold on. This one is webcomic. Webcomic.
I don't know how well this is gonna send, but I will. Because I have like
I cannot type.
annotations. Let's do that.
Put Heartstopper on my list.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
These also
There's
aren't in the order I talked.
You know what?
Talked about them.
There's
but...
no. There's no parentheses. It's fine. Or there's no There's a kind of mesh. Hold on, wait. Let me fix. Let me fix that.
This is so hard. Hold on.
Commas. That's the word I was looking for. There's no commas, so you can't.
Give me like 5 seconds, Shadow. I have this all like.
I'm putting commas. I promise. There, wait.
Let's use this.
There we go. There's the commas. There's all the ones I talked about. Wait, did I mention? Yeah, okay, that's all of them.
What is it with you rock and rollers? You can... I don't know how that one's gonna send, but there you go. Oh, that actually worked out. That's fine. Okay. I just threw that on
Oh, there it is.
Which was on my list.
Okay.
Not bad.
Oh, you actually put the authors. You know, I didn't do that.
That's just that's
fine,
like
though.
from how I had them in my notes because I was like, I need to remember.
Yeah, you
if
actually
I don't, then I'm gonna be like.
You actually did notes, and I did not. I put a sticky note on
You put a
something.
sticky note. You
I put
did
a
it.
sticky note. I did like my little sticky note. I did that. I was gonna do more, but that's all you get from me. Hey, you want to talk about fan fiction?
I will talk about fan. You know, listen. You know me.
Why?
I will talk about fan fiction for years.
Fan fiction. I feel like it's a nice like. Especially, I feel like when I first started reading fan fiction, you know, it was the thing where there wasn't a lot of queer media, and so to be able to like read fan fiction where people are making characters like queer, like characters from stuff queer. Claire, hi Claire, welcome in. I hope you're having a good day, gamer Claire. When what was I gonna say? Fanfic.
Fanfic, baby. I'll listen.
Fanfic. Yeah, just having like just people taking something that like you love but then like making it queer so that way you can like enjoy it even more because like especially back like years ago when I was like in middle school, high school, we didn't have a lot of queer media, so it was like a way to like consume queer content from something that wasn't necessarily like queer.
Yeah. And I feel like also what I really enjoy about fanfic as well is you can take something that maybe the original media is just like it's just not it for you, but you can like delve into something so much more. And like the one that's like really coming to my mind right now in terms of like fandom is this book trilogy called All for the Game, and it is horrible. I've read this entire trilogy, loved reading it. Look back, I'm like, there's a lot of issues with it. There's a lot of issues in terms of like how they deal with mental health and like things like that. Horrible. But the fan fiction made of that like book series so I've read some of the best things that I've ever read in my entire life in that. And it's just like, I mean, it is canonically queer, which is great, fantastic, but it's just like people take like the smallest details and they run with them. And like there's like a really like big kind of like couple in like the fandom where they don't really interact in canon. They like do, and you know that they interact beyond the books, but like in like the actual books themselves, they don't really like talk about it. But people were like, oh, I see these two, I see their backgrounds, and I know like how this could play out like in, you know, the normal canon. And it's genuinely like so good. Oh, I eat it up. It's so good. But that's what I like about fanfic too, is it'll take something where it's like, I don't want to reread the books. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm ever gonna read them ever again. But am I gonna read fan fiction of the books? Because it takes a lot of the problematic things out of the books and just like makes it way better. Makes it way better, like especially with like, you know, how they deal with mental health specifically. I feel like it's like the big one. and it just like, I don't know, it allows me to like enjoy something that I wouldn't be enjoying otherwise, and like get a lot more just get a lot more out of a piece of media than what I would have, done originally.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, so true, Cassandra. So true.
Yeah, that's the other
So
thing.
true.
In like a lot of media, it's just like things, like TV shows and like, or like comics and stuff that like have like these characters that seem so queer, but it's never like established and it's never like confirmed, and so you just have to most of the time there's a very specific like thing that I'm thinking of, but basically I'm trying to like figure out how to like word this where you think that the characters are queer and the fandom thinks that the characters are queer, but especially with like certain types of media where maybe like the people who are like creating the thing can't necessarily actually make certain things happen even if they want to, because they're limited based on like the big company that's like making this thing happen. So I mean, having fan fiction as a way to be like, okay, these characters are definitely queer, so I'm gonna make fan fiction of them so you can like read it and like consume it like that, like very good.
I mean, yeah, especially like when we were, I feel like growing up, I feel like this is like a really capitalist thing to say, but like being queer didn't sell, and so people didn't make shows about it. It didn't sell. It didn't
So
sell well,
true.
and like it wasn't like a thing. And then, but now, I like, you see things like Heartstopper, you see things like,
Also, Nova, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Can we get some
Thank you
hype
for
in
the
chat for the
5
5 gifted
gifted.
subs? We really
my
appreciate
gosh.
it. Thank you so much.
Supernatural Merlin. Oh, I could talk about Merlin specifically. Listen, you've awakened
You can
the
awaken.
special interest in me. Somebody mentioned Merlin in my stream yesterday, and I was like, I don't know if you want me to go off on this right now, because I will, and I can,
Will and I
But-
can.
but maybe we'll hold off for now.
I feel like for me, I feel like the thing that like awoke, like, for me, I know this is, but in Naruto, literally one of the first episodes, they made the 2 like male characters kiss
Yes.
on accident, but still, like, especially in like a shonen like show, and even in like in the book, in like the manga, they kiss too. So like for that to happen, I'm like, why would you put that in there as like, I mean, like, this was back in, I don't know, when Naruto was first made in like the 90s technically, or like super early 2000s, like for that to be in there, that was like, but I feel like when I saw that for the first time, I was just like, huh, like something like
Things like, oh.
Anyway, that's me trying to say I consumed so much Naruto fan fiction because it just that one kiss in the show, even though like nothing ever came of it because it was shonen, and that definitely wouldn't have sold for the genre, but that like impacted little Momo so hard.
God, I love that so much.
It's Naruto fan fiction.
Me, like, in early high school reading Soul Eater fan fiction, like, I'm like, I gotta get through this. I gotta. It's so good.
So good.
So good. Oh man, yeah. I feel like it just also like, I mean, yeah, it opens up like so many new avenues of just like storytelling as well, and just like being able to consume, like, for me, I get comfort in a lot of the like media I consume, and so like being able to just like dive head first into that in like other like in ways that I can just, like, I don't have to like rewatch it. I'm just gonna read a bunch of stuff. Like, that's like so incredible for me. Like, and also I feel like the other thing is like with fan fiction is it's stuff that wouldn't get published otherwise. It's things that like even just like in stories in general, where it's like, if it's an AU, like that AU is not gonna, like, that story is not gonna get published otherwise. Like, you're gonna read it here, and it's like,
I'm not gonna lie, I've read some fanfic. Mostly there's like one in particular that I can think of. It was like 20 chapters long, super well written. It was like an AU of the thing that it came from, But
Mhm.
and honestly, standalone, if they did change the names, I think it would have sold well.
Yeah, there's like
Honestly.
there's one fanfic that I genuinely read every year, and I've read it every year since I first read it, which was I would have been like a sophomore or a freshman in high school. I was like young, and I have read it every year since because it is so good. It is like, it's longer than Harry Potter. It is like 14 books, and it's like novels, like proper novels.
It's like actually like physical.
No, it's like they're not.
But
it's fanfic, so it's
oh,
online.
yeah,
But they're
yeah,
like
okay.
they're like the length of like novels.
Yeah.
And I have I've read it like every year, and sometimes, you know, I just, when I really am like feeling at my lowest, I just go into a hole for a week and I read and I don't come out. And I'm like, and then I feel better afterwards, and I'm like, this is great. But like, yeah. Ugh.
When I was
So good.
also convinced that Light and Elle from Death Note were in love.
Okay.
Enemies to
I was gonna
lovers.
say not to spoil
also,
it, but
honestly,
also
they were just enemies.
Death Note has been out for so long. You can't tell me that the scene right before Elle, you know,
Yeah.
you can't tell me that that is not.
It was so.
That is like
It's just.
one of the gayest things I've ever witnessed. So gay.
I've read a lot of Death Note fan fiction too. I've read so much.
I mean, yeah, that was like, I feel like I haven't read some more like, but when I was actively watching Death Note, I was like, ugh, I was so into it. 'Cause it was so good.
So you will never know what kind of fan fiction
No,
I wrote.
no, nobody will ever know.
I feel like
And
some
I
people
feel like
already
people won't be
do
able
know.
to guess.
I feel like some people already do know. I feel like I've maybe said it before on my stream.
I think people might know one fandom that I've written fan fiction for, but
Merlin?
there's one that no one will ever know.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me think. Soul Eater. One Piece.
No, I've read a lot of Soul Eater fanfic, but I've not written Soul Eater fanfic. I will, after you can get like 3 guesses, and then I'll reveal the one that people know that I've written fanfic for.
Something that you won't tell people who you wrote fanfic for. Is it something old
I
or
think some
something
people
new?
will guess it.
Is it like older media?
Probably. I was in high school, so I feel like you would have been like college. Is when I was in high school was when it is both books and a movie. And the books were out probably like earlier than high school, and the movies came out while I was in high school. At least the first few.
Hold on. I'm thinking movies and books. You were in high school, because I would have been like in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
And it's not a big
hold on.
fandom either. It's
Not a big-
it's pretty niche.
oh, I'm trying real hard, chat. I'm trying to think so hard. Books and movies.
Aaron
One.
can guess too.
Aaron, yes.
Neville, I'm gonna beat you up, Neville. Oh my god. No, God. I read a lot of Hunger Games fanfic, did not write Hunger Games fanfic. But I'll say this franchise, similar vein, similar audiences, similar vibes.
Man.
What? Not PETA. I was not into PETA. Although I mean...
I can't think of anything. I honestly can't think of anything.
It's gonna be real... It's really funny to me.
I want to know so bad. I want to know
Maybe
so bad.
Maybe I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah, just
Maybe I'll tell
slide
you
me.
after.
Slide me a DM.
That is not the host. Hold on, wait, I'll just
No.
DM you.
It's a book series, right?
Book
Book
series,
series that-
3 books.
How many movies?
3 books. I think 3 to 4.
3 to 4 movies?
Yeah, I think it's only 3 movies. And I think the last one came out not like recently, but within like probably the past Hold on. And if you knew other fandoms I was in, it would make sense as to why I was really into this. Reese knows. Reese got it.
I literally
Maze Runner.
know like nothing about the Maze Runner. I'm not
Dude, the
gonna
Maze
lie.
Runner books are really good.
Wait, I think we've talked about this before.
I really like. I used to write Maze Runner fanfic.
I think we've talked
Quite
about.
frequently.
Didn't we talked about this before, haven't we? This seems familiar.
We've talked about. I'll talk about the other one that people know is Teen Wolf. I used to write a lot of Teen Wolf fanfiction. I was a big fan of
Teen
Dylan
Wolf.
O'Brien.
I've never watched Teen Wolf, but like I
Oh.
knew like
It's gay. You can't tell me it's not gay. You can't tell me. That's one too where I'm like, dude, if the creators weren't cowards, they would have made them gay. MTV would have
Man.
been fine with it.
MTV. Yeah, they would have been fine with it.
MTV's like, whatever. We'll show. They have like, I mean, Rob Dyrdek is like has them like chokehold for all of his shows, but like they show up things that are worse than like having queer characters. so
True.
I think if the yeah.
Wait, it
They
makes so
make
much sense.
so much. That's so true, Quinn. So true.
Is that why you like building The Sims?
Wait, why?
Is you like Maze Runner? I don't know.
I don't understand the correlation here, Neville. I need more.
A maze? I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't actually. I
Yeah.
only saw the first Maze Runner movie, and I haven't seen anything since.
Honestly, I didn't know that they made multiple Maze Runner movies. I thought there was only one.
They made all three of them. And it was. I mean, I thought the first one was like fine. I went to the midnight release of the first one. Did not watch any of the other ones though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a fleeting time of my life, but also very it did have me in a little chokehold right there. I was like, I'm consuming all this content.
I'm trying to think of like I feel like there's really nothing I feel like all of the things that I was like super into, especially with like fan fiction and stuff,
Mhm.
were very like things that like a lot of people were into, you know?
Yeah, I've read
I wasn't
basically
really, like-
almost every
and I-
Merlin fanfic that's on
and-
AO3, which is I don't know if it's a flex or like a weird fact about me, but I could tell you that I have read, unless it was like something incredibly problematic that had it in the tags, I've read it.
That's valid. I feel like
I've read
yeah, I don't think there's anything really that I could be like, oh, I was like super into this that people wouldn't be like, wow, I would have never guessed.
Wow.
Wow, you were super into Voltron? Wow, I would have never guessed that.
Wow.
Wow.
I feel like I like just missed the Voltron train. I like watched Voltron, but I didn't really like get anything. Like I was just like, I like it. It's
That's-
fine.
it's
I
probably
didn't
for
watch
the
a lot of
best.
it though.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know about
We-
the fandom for that one.
Yeah, we know. If you don't know,
We
that's
know.
fine. We don't have to talk about it.
You don't need to know.
You don't need to know. But I feel like there was for me there was like very particular like things had to be like very specific for me to actually be like wanting to read fanfic for it. Like there had to be those characters that seemed to genuinely feel queer, you know?
Yeah, no,
like
that's fair.
so like Naruto and Sasuke and Naruto and Ellen Light and Death Note.
Ugh. Gay.
Gay, like, and then in Voltron I was super into like Lance and Keith because they like had that was like the big like ship. People were like
Mhm.
like these two, like there was like something there.
Yeah.
And so like those were like I had like very specific things where I'm like to see like these characters interact in the way that they would look at each other.
Look at me in my eyes.
especially Naruto. Okay, I'm a big Naruto fan.
Mm-hmm.
In Naruto, it's the way and Naruto's been out for so long, right? It's the way that Naruto, not just the fact that they kissed.
It's smooched.
It's the way that Sasuke went to like leave the village to go with Orochimaru to become like, you know, powerful and like train to get revenge about his family's clan. And Naruto chased him down to like bring him back. And then when he didn't, he still made a vow to bring him back. Like that was his whole thing, was to bring Sasuke back. bring him home.
Bring him home.
Bring him home. It was you can't tell me anything else. Like that was little queer me just like latched on to that. Like he's gonna bring him home. Gotta come home. He had to bring his boyfriend home. Literally. Oh my gosh.
I love that. I mean, that was okay. This one I feel like is a little different because it's like more a video game than anything else. But Mass Effect. Mass Effect was like a huge. It was a weird queer because again, it was out when I was in high school, like middle school to high school.
Yeah.
And it was such a like when I think back onto it, it was probably such a pinnacle of me like figuring out my identity because I was like, well, I want to be male shepherd. I want to be the man. Like I was like I want to be this male character that I love. Like yeah, there's like a female option, but do I want that? No, I want male shepherd. And then in the second game, then I think it's in the third game is when you're allowed to like romance same sex or like same like or other aliens even if you will. But I remember also just like end up reading a lot of like Mass Effect fan fiction that just like really delved into like because it's like you make your character whatever you want, so like are they queer? They can be, absolutely. And so just like reading a lot of people just like making it's so good. I feel like that one was like very like pivotal to me and being like, oh yeah, no, I want to be, and I want to date a man, but while being like a masculine person. Like that's what I want. That's the love I want, not.
literally anytime I would make like, because I was big into like MMOs and stuff and just like games like that. I was super into, or I would always like pick like a masculine like base. Like I would always like if I had the choice, I'd make a male character. But I remember like when I was younger, especially like with Pokemon, like the original Pokemon, you didn't have a choice. And then like later on, you did. And so like I would pick like, girl characters. And then like I remember like growing up, like then being a little bit older, I was like, I'm gonna pick the boy characters. And I remember like, especially in MMOs, like playing, like, I mean, MMOs are still like this. You play, maybe not. I don't know. I haven't played an MMO in a while. Like whatever gender your like character is, like that's what people just think that you are. I remember like the first MMO that I was super into, I was playing as like a male character, and then like friends that I met on the MMO just thought that I was a guy, and I was like, I quite enjoy this.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that something?
This has maybe awakened something within me that I wasn't prepared for. And
then it was funny. So like and then I remember when me and my spouse started dating, we got into an MMO together, and I was playing this MMO with him and his friends, and he always picks like feminine characters to play as. Like he would always pick feminine characters to play as in MMOs, and I would always pick masculine characters to play in MMOs.
I literally love that so much.
I thought it was like so funny. But that was also before like I was out as non-binary, because I've how many years? It's been quite a while. Not gonna lie.
It's been weirdly more years than I thought. I'm always just like, yeah, it was like last winter. It's been like almost 3 to 4 years.
It's been like 7 years for me actually, because I was like, I think it was like peak Tumblr, like 2014, which was so much longer ago than I think a lot of us realize.
Mine was like pre-pandemic. It was like, I think at the end of this year it'll be 3 years for me, which is like it was like pre-pandemic. And imagine me having a gender crisis pre-pandemic and then going into lockdown and only having my thoughts, and I was like, oh no.
I remember because like, and it's funny because I remember I went back and looked at my Tumblr after like not looking at it for a while, and I had like a little about me section. It said, what did it say? Because it's like, here's my name, here's my age, here's how I identify and my pronouns. And I think I was like 20. I was like in my early 20s. And I had I was like, oh, I'm agender and I use they them pronouns, and I was like, look at me. Like, so when I first came out, I came out as agender, and like that's how I like always referred to myself until like later on I realized like, oh, I could also use non-binary as like the umbrella term.
Yeah.
And honestly, it wasn't even until I started streaming on Twitch like 2 years ago, maybe even like less than that, is when I started to get comfortable with the trans label, because I saw trans non-binary streamers being like, you could be non-binary and identify with the trans label as well. And it's like, because I always like was like, I don't know if that's for me.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
Because
like a whole...
it was like, yeah, that was the whole thing. Because I remember, because there was one point I thought that I was like a trans man. And,
yeah, I mean that's how. That's
just like that's the thing. Well, because see, it was funny because like I was out as agender, but then I was like, but what if I'm not? Because like I like masculinity, I like presenting masculine, and like I'm okay with like masculine terms. So I was just like, so because of that, I had a lot of friends who maybe weren't like the most supportive. I had a lot of friends being like, oh, you're a guy, and I was like, I don't know.
But I don't know if I identify with everything about being a guy. Like,
yeah, exactly. And but then, and that
I'm
was the
just
other
a
thing.
little guy. That's the only way to put it.
Little guy.
I'm just a little guy.
But then it's funny because also thinking back to like thinking about, you know, like reading queer comics and stuff like that, and being very like, I want that, you know, like, so that also kind of made me think like, oh, maybe I am. But then it wasn't until, you know, like more recent, but then like I figured out, I was like, I'm not actually a guy, because I was using he, him pronouns for like a little bit, or like having my friends do them. And so they would use, I remember a very specific moment. I was with a friend at the salon. They were getting their haircut. And, you know, I was standing there because I was making them feel comfortable and helping them. And they were talking to the person cutting their hair and referred to me as like with he, him pronouns. And I was standing there like, uh-oh. I was like, I don't know about this.
Something feels awry.
Something feels not correct.
Not right.
And so then I was having that like I wouldn't, you know, like it just didn't click. So then I was like, wait, no, I'm just non-binary. Like and now more recently I'm like, oh, the reason why I was so like into reading like comics with like MLM comics and stuff was because I still identify with masculinity, and I just want to be in relationship with a man in a queer way, and not like in the what society like it tells you have to be in a relationship with a man as.
Yeah, no, exactly. I feel like that was also one of those like big moments for me, was being like, I feel like there's a thing, especially back in like the early Tumblr days, where people were like, you're fetishizing like men relationships, and it was like there was like, you know, the distinction that wasn't made, like there was no nuance in the conversation. It was like, you're so obsessed with this because you're fetishizing it, and it was like, well, no, like I like this because I somehow feel like I relate to it way more than I should. And like I feel like looking back and being like, oh, like I want to be in a relationship with a man in like that kind of way. And it's like that, man, I'm just trans mask. I don't know.
Yeah. You think wait, Twitch has helped a lot of people for that, honestly. You know, a lot of people have discovered new parts of themselves through the people and content they discovered through Twitch. Yeah, like I've definitely discovered a lot about myself, and like how, and like my identity labels, especially like what kind of like terms like I'm okay with people using. Like to refer to me as. And so always learning new stuff about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Twitch.
Not exactly. Thanks, Twitch.
Thanks,
listen,
Twitch. And now we're here to tell it all to you, and maybe you can also relate and be like,
I'm here to trans your gender.
I'm here to trans your gender. I'm here to make you just, you know, we're just here to create a safe environment for, you know, these types of conversations. So if you do like connect with it, you can be like, wait a minute, and then we'll also be like, you know, that's okay. You know, it's okay and it's valid to explore your gender identity. And even if like later on you realize that that's not like if you've explored it and you're like, this isn't actually for me, that's also okay. Because then
Yeah, I
you
feel like
still
there's like a big stigma about detransitioning, but it's just like, dude,
it's just
it's so fluid. Just live your life. If
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
you're comfortable with now, great. And then
Yeah,
you might change, and it's fine.
It's okay
It doesn't
to change your
invalidate
mind.
anything.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
invalidate anything. You're allowed to change your mind. You've explored it. You're like, yep, that's not for me, and then you moved on. And you're also allowed to keep experimenting with all the different labels. That's also fine.
Yeah. God, yeah.
It helped you be a lot more comfortable in your gender. You were shy about it before, but not recently.
Let's go.
I'm also gonna hydrate. Thank you.
Little
Chaotic gender
hydration.
neutral.
Thank you.
I literally, anytime somebody tells me, like, oh, you helped me in this way, I can't help but to cry.
It will make me cry.
It will make me cry. I've been
I
a
will
little
cry.
emotional about it. That's why y'all aren't allowed to say
Honestly.
nice things to me live on stream.
You're not allowed to be
I
nice,
will-
actually.
Can't be nice. Can't say nice things about me. I will just start
Nope.
sobbing.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say? I lost all my thoughts.
Have you lost your thoughts?
I've lost my thoughts. I think I had something else to say. Talk about. I got so much time to talk about stuff.
I know.
You want to
I'm like-
chat? Actually, chat. We forgot to ask y'all. Are there any
Oh, yeah.
comics that you recommend?
Give me some comics,
Give us
gamers.
some
Because
comics.
you know what? I have my to read list very long. But do I want more to read? Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
Literally always.
Give us more goodies.
Cassandra, don't be nice to me. I'll literally beat you up.
Emrys, thank you for joining me on this stream.
Thank you for having me.
We are two peas in a pod.
Just some
We
some
are-
lads.
We
Just
are
a couple of
just
lads.
A couple little lads. We are the same. We're like the same person but different.
We're the blue and red coated gays. I'm pointing the wrong way this way. Look, I've got the blue. Will you? Gonna ask you to be the Knuckles to my Sonic.
Sonic.
Oh
my
my god.
Oh my god. Talk about the magic fish. No, please tell us about it.
Oh my god, wait, I would love to know more.
I would love to know more. Queer book recommendation, not comic, but poetry.
I could talk about
Very
books too. I've got a
good.
lot of good queer book, and by a lot, I mean
don't
I've got one
read.
really good one that I love talking about. I
don't
always
read.
talk about it.
Read book.
You put it the wrong way with a Neville. No, don't be mean to me.
You did point the wrong way.
Okay, well, you're right here
Hi,
on our Discord. You're right there.
I meet.
I meet the.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I can't read books.
You don't.
It's not that I can't read books, it's just that I can't, like, the reason why I like comics so much, right, is because I'm a very, like, visual person.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, reading, like, having the comics and, like, with the pictures and, like, the words really helps hold my attention.
That's totally valid.
I do have I can read.
Hello, my name is Momo. I'm redacted age, and I've never learned how to read.
I never learned how to read. Thank you so much for that follow. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. I can read. It's just that I need pictures in my books. I do have a queer book, not age appropriate, that a friend let me borrow. I still actually
Send it to
have
me,
it, and I
Magnus.
haven't given it back to them. And I never finished reading it. Because here's the thing, I can read a book, but I would have to read it in one sitting, or I will just forget about
totally
it. You know,
fair. Yeah,
I will just.
that's me.
forget about it.
I like enjoy reading, and sometimes I can read things in multiple sittings. But then there's certain books like Game of Thrones. I feel like is the classic example for me. I literally feel like I feel like I black out when I read Game of Thrones. I don't know what happens. I read it. I read a bunch in one sitting, and then I put it down, and then I come back to it, and then I've forgotten everything that I've read. I feel like this is really sad, but that's how it goes when I watched Attack on Titan as well. I can't watch it because I feel like I black out. Like I don't remember anything and I don't know what's going on. I jump back and I'm like, oh yeah, I was at episode 6. It was totally fine. And then I start watching and I'm like, what? Where am I? Like forget what plane of existence I'm on.
Hold on, wait, I gotta look this up.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna go grab if that's okay, I'm gonna go grab a queer book that I know is very good.
Yeah,
that I can
go for it.
about.
Go for it. Yeah, Magic Face is a graphic novel about a second-generation gay Vietnamese boy who's trying to find a way to come out to his parents. Read fairy tales together because that helps to bridge the language gap between them and helps the mom practice English. Queer themes throughout the novel, but it does deal with heaviness as well, so recommend. Wait, that sounds okay. I googled it. I think I might have to buy this. That sounds really nice. I'm definitely gonna pick this one up. While I'm looking at it. I like the style of it too. The style's really, really cute. And the color, like the like pink tones. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to pick that one up. That's gonna be added to my read one. Very good trans queer poetry anthology. Oh. Project from the library, but it's on your buy list because you want it for life. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into that one. There's also here. Let me There's a couple other ones that I want to read. There's one that I've been seeing called. Oh yeah, I did see this one on because I looked up queer comics on Google, and I did see that one popped up. There's one that I've been seeing around called The Witch Boy.
Oh.
That looks really cool, and also, I mean, supernatural. So, obviously, right up my alley. So, I really would like to read that one. Looks really cute. What's another one? There's that other one that you have that you just bought by the same author that did On a Sunbeam.
Are You Listening?
Yeah, Are You Listening? I want to buy all the Heartstoppers
I want them.
comics. I want the Heartstopper. I want them so bad.
I need them.
And then there's this other one that I've been seeing.
I realized that I was like, I have way more of these than I thought I did. I was like, oh, I have more I can talk about.
There's another one that I keep seeing called Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to get that one. That one looks really interesting. It's a young adult novel and a lesbian teen fiction.
Ooh. I love that.
Talk about your book.
All right, I've got a trilogy first. That is, if you are a fan of Harry Potter, but obviously very sad because, you know, little turf rolling over there with her ideologies. Yeah. This is the series for you because it has the same joy that Harry Potter has without being like, you know, a direct ripoff, but it's queer. It's canonically queer. And also has a lot of really good, it's just, chef's kiss. I talk about this on my stream literally all the time. If anybody's like, I need queer book recs, I'm like, here you go. It's the Simon Snow trilogy by Rainbow Rowell, who I feel like is a pretty well-known author. Did like Fangirl and then Eleanor and Park as well, which is like, I think is her biggest one. But the first book is called, I don't know if you can see that, Carry On. It is, this trilogy has made me feel things that I have not felt in so long. It is incredible. It's like it's a story of like the chosen one, but it doesn't go the way you think it's gonna go. And it's, especially once you start getting into the second and the third books, it is just so, it makes me want to cry thinking about it. I have read this in one sitting. The last time I came to visit you, not the last time, the time before that, when I went to the lake house as well, the first time, I brought all 3 of these and I read all of them while I was at the lake house. I didn't do anything else that vacation other than read because I got sucked back in. But it's Carry On.
That's a good way to spend your vacation.
I mean, yeah, that's how I spend my vacations, is I read.
Yeah. That's
just what I enjoy doing. But it's Carry On, Wayward Son, and then Any Way the Wind Blows. And it has The take on magic is also really fantastic. Like the magic, instead of it being like, old Latin, it's like magic has power with like how often words are said. So it's just like phrases, and like, like catchphrases or like jingles or stuff like that, like will have more power because like people, like normal people talk about them more. It's so interesting. The world is like fantastically built. The characters are so well fleshed out, and you makes you feel so many things. Oh my god, it's literally so good. I recommend this to literally, even if you don't like reading novels, you should try it. It's like a YA, so it's a pretty easy read. It's not like super like daunting high fantasy, like you're gonna be lost and not knowing what's going on. It is, I think, genuinely one of the best like trilogies I've ever read.
Some thick
It's
books though.
I know they are a
Some
bit
big
thick.
books.
You can listen, they have audiobooks.
I can't do audiobooks.
That's fair. If anybody is like, I don't really, the audiobooks are also very good. I didn't read the first book. I listened to it on an audiobook while I was like, this was like pre-pandemic when I used to be driving around a lot because that's what I did for work. I would listen to this audiobook in between, like while I was running errands for my job. And it was, it like grabbed, it was so good. It is so good. Books and not just comics, honestly.
Hey,
always.
honestly, do both. We'll do both. We'll take
Yeah.
comics, we'll take books. I will take all the comics. I'll take most of the comic recommendations.
Here's another manga that I've also been reading. I'm like about halfway through the first thing, and I'm interested to see how this goes. Because I feel like, so it's called If I Could
Queer?
Reach You. Yes.
Manga.
It is.
I feel like queer, like positive, I should say, positive queer manga is like starting to like be a thing.
Yeah. I'm like, this one is rated 16 plus. I'm not sure. I'm not finished with it, so I don't know where it's gonna go. And if it goes one way, I'm like, I don't know if I like that. But if it goes the other way, I think that I could like it a lot. But it is basically about a high schooler who has been in love with her childhood friend, who is now married to her brother.
Oh god.
And they all live together. But she meets someone else. Because she's like, I have this unrequited love. Like, how do I deal with this? And there's a friend who kind of shows up that she meets that is like very, that is also canonically queer. And so I'm like, I think that maybe they'll get together, and I'm hoping that they get together because she's like, I'm so in love with like my brother's wife.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna go the other way. I swear, I'm like, the way that they've kind of put it, because it's like, when they meet, they kind of like, the one, not the main character, but the friend that like kind of enters the fray, she's like, doing some things with a guy in a stairwell. It's not shown, but implied.
Implied, yeah.
And they like then have a conversation afterwards, and she was like, it's so much, like the friend is just like, yeah, it's so much easier with women. Like my first time was actually with a woman, and like it like rocks the main character's world. She's like, oh my god, what? And then they kind of have a little bit of a deep conversation about love, and I feel like it's gonna end up good. But you know what? I'll get back to you on this one, y'all. I'll let you know when I'm done reading it.
Having a little bit of an update. I feel like I've definitely more recently been trying to like branch out into like what kind of like queer, like I'm trying to consume just all types of queer media. But I feel like especially when I was younger, I was only consuming like men loving men, like type of comics and like media and stuff, because that's what I felt connected to. I mean, that's still what I like feel connected to, so I still do consume a lot of it, but now I'm trying to like branch out and just like read anything queer just so I can like have more queer
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm like.
and just so I could also like, just like, because I mean, it's all like every other thing that I've read is also, very good, and I just want to like, if it's good, it's good. And I just want to branch out and explore more.
I definitely find them like, I enjoy them, and I'm like, there's also another one that I'm trying to read, which I wanted to read the manga for. I've seen the anime, but I know the manga goes past it. It's called Given.
Oh yeah, I want to.
Band, baby, I love like
I want to read that one.
so good. But I grabbed something by I haven't read this one at all, but it's called Lynx, and it's by the same author that did Given.
That sounds familiar.
It's like, I think it's a one-off. I think it's a one-off, and it's rated teen plus, so I don't know, older teens. And it's a bit of like a thicker like manga. It's like a bit thicker, but I'm like excited to kind of explore this one. I haven't read it yet, as I said, but I mean, Given was really good. I haven't read the rest of the manga, but I know the show was like really incredible, and I binged that immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, give me all of this, actually. But it's very, very good.
Another one.
Bro.
There's another one that's on my to read list called Princess Ever After.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is when a heroic princess, Amira, rescues the kind-hearted princess, Sadie, from her tower prison. Neither expects to find a true friend in... Wait. Wait. I don't know what that...
Hmm?
True friend in the bargain.
Don't know what that one means, but sure, absolutely.
Wait, what? Okay. Never heard that phrase before, but okay.
Yeah.
And as they adventure across the kingdom, they discover that they bring out the best in the other person. They'll need to join forces to use all the know-how, kindness, and bravery they have in order to defeat their greatest foe yet. A jealous sorceress who wants to get rid of Sadie once and for all. Anyways, two princesses. Story about two different princesses. And
I like that.
it looks very good and very cute.
I'm pulling up my list of other comics because, man, do I have more. I really cut my list down when I sent it to you because I was like, oh, I don't know how much we're going to talk about them each.
Oh no, you
feel like I should.
should have made it so long.
I've got so many more. Where?
I will hydrate.
Oh.
So Panic, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day.
All right, I've got another one that kind of goes off of Given if you're a fan of like band fics and like things like that. This one deals with mature content as well. Listen, I'm redacted age. I read mostly like mature, like my more mature, like I read some YA, but I found that I've like been able to relate to it less and less. But this one is called Charity Case, and it has polyam rep. That's like the main part of the story is like, you know, someone kind of or like a group of people discovering that they are polyam, and like they're all roommates, which is even better. Oh, they're roommates.
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates. The little description is: aspiring musician Julian finds himself relying on the charity of others to get his life back together, but the feelings he's developed for his new housemates threaten to tear it all apart. Charity Case is a polyamorous romance with a side of helping of found families. If you like agonizingly slow relationship development and LGBTQIA plus characters, this is the one for you. And it is slice of life. It's really beautifully written. The like art style is like really, really gorgeous, and it's very good with found family. It's like, I'm like, oh, found family makes me want to cry and sob. And I feel like this is like, it's really good. And it also means like they're in a band. They got a band.
I'm a big fan of bands and music.
Great, fantastic, wonderful.
There is one that I don't have it, but I saw it on a list. But there's a comic called How to Be Ace, a memoir of growing up asexual. And it's described as an ace person's heartstopper. So I thought that would definitely be a good one to I definitely want to pick it up because I think that would be a nice read. But it's the author, it's their memoir, documents their journey of pretending to be something they're not, battling anxiety and OCD and discovering themselves. Because it's a great read if you're looking to understand more about asexuality or to cry if you are asexual.
Oh, stop.
Emily, welcome in.
Hi, Emily. I also have another one. I forgot about this one. And this one is about to be finished. It is almost completed. Not quite, but almost completed. So that's a little treat, you know? A little unknown treat. I haven't finished it yet. Like, I'm not caught up to date. But this one's called #muted. And it's really it's beautiful. It is a kind of like slow burn slice of life comic. What's the theme between all of these? They've all been slow burn slice of life. Fine. But this one is Jasper meets Kai, a boy who doesn't speak. Will they find a way to communicate the feelings they both have? And Jasper is a librarian, and Kai is mute, does not speak. And it kind of delves into a little bit of reasons like why Kai doesn't speak and things like that. And it's really wholesome. It's really sweet. There are, I believe, some like content warnings just for like, you know, dealing with like anxiety and things like that, and like past things that have happened. But it is very, very sweet, very good. I know one of my other really good friends is also like reading it like as avidly, and so we're all like, this is very good, and it's gonna be completed soon. It's like fantastic.
Completed. I was not aware of boy band, by the way, but now I'm very aware.
What is boy band? Hold on.
It's a music group, a queer pop vocal band.
Hello.
Very interested. I'm aware now.
Hi. Hey there.
There's also this other one. I basically like found this article that's like it's 8 graphic novels to read if you finish Heartstopper.
I love that.
So another one that looked interesting to me is called Breaks.
Yes, that one was in, I think, Are You Listening has like a list of like, things that you might want to read if you, it has the like, I love graphic novels, and then it has a little tree with a bunch of like,
it's got like this.
And I think Breaks is on there.
I don't know.
Maybe I made that up.
Maybe in because I think like a lot of these.
Just kidding, like, I literally made that up.
Like a lot of these have like all like the same like thing. Well, it's like
I guess I guess I've seen it on somewhere. It's not in here, but I've seen it.
It says it's a love story, but a little broken. It's perfect if you love crying over Heartstopper.
So true. I love to sob. What can I say?
It says everyone's very angry and angsty and breaks. Which tells I love a good angst. It does look the cover of it looks very moody. It looks very, very moody, not gonna lie. Let's see. It tells the story of Cortland and Ian as they fall in love in high school. It's enemies to lovers!
Oh, stop. You literally don't have to say anything else.
Wait,
like, I'm in.
It's by the person who wrote Life is Strange. The Life is Strange games.
Ooh.
I need this comic.
I need to know more.
Right now. It's called Breaks.
I'm in.
I'm in. Very interested.
Angsty is a mood.
Angsty. I thought it said angsty and angsty. It's just angry and angsty.
Just real angsty. I do have one. I have another one. This one I feel like you might really enjoy, Momo, because it has a lot of like horror aspects to it, which I know you're about it. This one, slow burn love story. LGBTQIA+, as we do. Supernatural. Who's surprised? Not finished, though, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. We've got a really big theme with which ones I like here. But this one is, when Noah's dreams begin to overlap with reality, he doesn't know what to think anymore. But then he and his best friend Robin get lured into a place of their past. Slowly, they start remembering that they might have known each other for far longer than they thought, and that they weren't always human. And it is the like art of this like webcomic is incredible. It's by Fanta Koi, and here are some of the tags that are on this, which I love. This is why I like Tapas Skills, because there's tags that you can see.
Oh yeah.
fantasy, horror, reincarnation. Which, oh god, I love that. Listen, as a Merlin stan, that's my bread and butter. Supernatural, surreal. Here, hashtag childhood friends, which they have been friends since they were kids. Hashtag they adopt a cat. Hashtag they share a bed.
Hashtag they share
There
a
was
bed.
only one
There
bed, but
was
it's like not only that there's only one bed, they
bed.
just share a
They just
bed, which is
share a
like
bed.
it's. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can get like a really good
So good.
I want to see if I can find like a really good oh, here we go. I feel like this is like a nice like oh, there we go. Can I get it to show?
I can kind of see it.
Kind of see it. It's like very like horror, very like
Does look
surreal. Like
yeah.
the art style is also it has been out since 2016. It's been slowly been updating. Updates once a month.
Long.
Yeah, it is. It's been going on for. I think the prototype for it, like the first, like the first thing kind of came out in 2015, and then it started to actually update in 2016.
Yeah.
And it is, yeah. There are some like warnings and stuff with it, but the author again puts everything in there, that you kind of need. It's mostly just like a lot of like supernatural, like horror, like sort of like vibes. But it is very good. I need to catch up with it as well. Oh, also I think my captions
Oh,
went away.
did our captions break?
I think my captions went away. I just realized it says I have an invalid.
Yeah, your captions went
Invite
away.
link.
Hold on. So sorry.
No. Thank you. I should have noticed that sooner, but I did not.
No, I didn't notice it either.
But it's really gorgeous, and the art style for that one as well is like really, really beautiful, really good. And they're both like, I mean, they've been childhood friends for like years, which I love. Like enemies to lovers, my like top priority. Other than that, childhood friends to lovers.
I don't know if I have
baby.
any like other like webcomics that I could think of.
I think I showed you my subscribed list on Tapas. That's not actually all of them. It is
Yeah, I think
most
you
of
did.
them. It is there's a lot.
But
And I'm pretty sure all of them at least have the LGBTQIA plus tag. I think there's one that doesn't,
yeah.
but it's because it was written by someone who I like their other comics that is. And so I was like, I'll take a little trip.
that's valid. Yeah, because I definitely when I there's one that it's always sad when there's one that you were like reading and it hasn't been updated since 2018.
Oh no. That's like genuinely the worst.
But it was like a fantasy one. I'm not gonna talk about it since it hasn't been updated in a very long time.
Yeah. I want to see when this one was last updated, but the episodes aren't loading. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much like whenever I go to like look up any kind of like comic, anything, like I feel like it's especially like that with like a lot of people are trying to like recommend anime and like manga and stuff to me like nowadays. They're like, oh, I recommend this, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm honestly not interested because I only want to consume queer media.
I only want to consume queer
it doesn't
media.
mean like I either want to consume queer media or if like something has like some kind of like horror elements, as long as it's not like if I'm consuming like a romance type of situation, then I would definitely prefer it to be queer. But if it's like like horror or like something like that, then I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But I just want to, and it kind of makes me feel bad. Like some people will like be like, I recommend this, I recommend that. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm literally not interested at all.
I do not care.
I'm
sorry,
It's
but
not that I don't think that it wouldn't be good. I
Yeah.
would just prefer to have something else that I can maybe connect with a little more.
Yeah, no, I
It's
definitely
like,
can understand that.
Yeah, a lot of people have been recommending Spy Family. Like the anime and manga that's out, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not interested.
Just
Doesn't mean
I'll
that it
simply
doesn't
just
look
at the
nice.
the art.
It doesn't mean it doesn't look cool, but I honestly really don't care.
I definitely
care that much. I'm sorry.
I feel like I understand that though because
Could
it's
be
just,
gayer, exactly.
Yeah, it could be gayer. Come on.
Could.
Here's another one. I haven't read this one in a while, but it is. I really enjoyed it when I was reading it. Listen. One guess what genre it is.
Fantasy. Sci-fi.
It's fantasy.
Fantasy.
Supernatural. Nice little kind of slice of life ish, but it's gay. It's called Out of Sight, Out of Body, and it's fun. This one's very lighthearted as well. Basically there is a college student who is really, he has no self-confidence, none. And there's a person who's his total
Relatable.
opposite. It's an enemies to lovers kind of vibe,
Enemies to
where
lovers.
they're basically kind of enemies. They're not full,
But,
on enemies, more so they don't really know each other that much, but they are the opposite. They are absolute opposites.
What's it called? Like rivals?
Yeah.
More like rivals than enemies.
Exactly. And Soren gets hit by a car. River gets hit by a car. And his soul leaves his body, but he can still see his body. And the only person that can see him is Soren. And so they're trying to reconnect him to his body. He doesn't actually he's in a coma, quote unquote. He's in the hospital or whatever. He's not dead.
Yeah.
And it's them trying to reconnect his ghost with his body, and they become friends through it because the only person that can see him is Soren. They're the only two that can see each other, and so it's a whole thing, and it's really fun and just it's pretty lighthearted. It's kind of a horrid event that happens, but it's super it's a slice of life, kind of really lighthearted vibe.
Yeah.
And it's very fun. It is very fun. And I love seeing the romance kind of bloom there because it's just they were kind of forced into the situation of being well, the only person that could see you is that guy. And so, if you want to return to your body, then we gotta.
Yeah.
But it is very, very good. That one's on, it's by Fuzzy with 4 Z's and 2 Y's.
4 Z's, 2 Y's. Very good.
4 Z's, 2 Y's, and it is honestly I really enjoy it. I need to catch up on it, and I think it's updates every. Let me see. I think it's updates every month, but it updates it'll have multiple it'll do multiple upload. It'll updates once a month, but that day every month is multiple things get uploaded.
It's so interesting to think about how with webtoons and the other comic resources, how easier it is to find webcomics.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I remember when I read webcomics when I was in high school, they
When it was
either
just
had
on a
their own
website.
domain that they upload to their own website, or they're on their DeviantArt pages.
Yeah.
See, people would be uploading their webcomics to just Deviant as a DeviantArt page.
Yeah.
And now we have,
or people would
whole
do it on
apps.
Tumblr too, even.
This was before Tumblr.
I mean, that's fair. But then after that, I feel
After that,
well,
then
there
it was on Tumblr. Yeah, I'm this is pre-Tumblr.
I'm trying to remember. There is this webcomic that I have in my mind very vaguely that used to update on Tumblr, but it was a multimedia. It wasn't just on Tumblr. It was I really cannot remember what it's called, and I feel it's one of the classic LGBTQIA plus comics. Maybe. So I remember it was I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. It's fine. It's out of my brain.
Wait, a
and I don't know if I'm
uploaded
going to remember it. It was something that was on Tumblr, and you had to follow the Tumblr links to figure out what order to reach it in. And I can't remember why. I can't remember what it is. I was it was a core memory was unlocked from my Tumblr days.
There was something I did remember. There was an Adventure Time webcomic.
Oh.
Because as we all know, Adventure Time's been out for a while, but I guess big spoiler alert. But Marceline and Bubblegum do get together, right?
Yeah.
That's canon. And so, you know, like when they started doing like the gendered like flip thing with like Fiona and Cake, and there was Marshally and like Prince Gumball. Gumball. There was somebody did like a Adventure Time like web comic with like Marshally and Prince Gumball. It was so good. It was so good. Because of course, you know, as like a trans mask person, that was my preference. I mean, obviously, I still love Bubblegum and Marceline because it's so good. We just like spent so long just waiting for them to be together.
Yeah.
But obviously, I prefer doing the. Well, you remember that? And in the same artist, the artist is Hootsuite. But it's the same artist. They were the comic, the webtoon I was talking about that hasn't updated since 2018. Wait, they were also making this. I don't remember what it was called. I just remember it was like the
other one that they did, because I feel like that
Hex
name sounds really familiar to me.
It's called Hex.
I think I read it.
The like couple of pages that were out.
Yeah.
Because they were starting it.
On my list.
They were starting it and then they redid it. I have a feeling they might be uploading it somewhere else and not on Webtoon. I was subscribed to the
Can I help you? Anyway.
He just came busting through that door. Oh my god. Also, hi Jade, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. That little man.
Okay. It's because I think it's starting to storm, so he's, you know.
Oh my god. That was
having a
so
time.
funny.
Don't look in my boxes.
I'm looking at your boxes.
Still unpacking. Hold on, let me close my door.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Oh, little man. Anyway, well, I was subscribed to their Patreon for a while, and I think they were uploading it on there. So I wonder if they're still working on it, or if it's been like finished, if it's on their Patreon, or if there's somewhere else.
Somewhere else it is, maybe.
That it is, but yeah, they did a comic. Adventure Time comic. I was very into it. Yeah, I was very, very much into Marshally and Gumball because that's what I connected with more.
Yeah,
and obviously we're like, well, if Marceline and Princess Bubblegum are canon, then obviously Marshally and Gumball are canon.
Exactly.
That's how it has to work. Man, I love Adventure Time. I actually have I have an Adventure Time comic, actually. No, I actually have one of the Fiona and Cake comics. Because I remember it's the one, there's one, I don't want to go find it because I feel like it'll take me forever. I don't want to be gone for too long. But I remember because it has Gumball and Marshally in it, and they have like shirts. They have shirts with each other's faces on them. Now he's like, I want out, please. Bye, little man. Bye. Anyway, there is in the comic they
you know. He wanted out. I don't understand what he wants. Well, you know what? You can go in and out, but
we just get to look at, you know, we're not gonna be here much longer. We get to look at your box pile, I guess. Oh my god. Okay. In the comic, they're wearing shirts at one point that have each other's faces on them, and it says "Boys' Night Out." Anyway, it's just very good. It's very good. I just love them. They're one of my like favorite like ships, I guess. But would you even call it a ship if they're like, if you would think that they would be canon, you know? I still feel like it is because, like, I mean, Fiona and Cake is like a kind of like a spin-off.
Yeah.
And I still feel like they were wearing shirts with each other's faces on them, so
that's so cute. I love that. I should have worn my Momo's Biggest Fan shirt today.
I've only seen it
I think
once.
it's in the wash right
Gotta
now.
remember to bring it when you come to visit next
I
time.
do. I brought it last time. I just didn't wear it. Momo's biggest
Didn't
fan.
even wear it. You know, chat, that EmrysKay is my biggest fan.
I'm Momo's biggest fan, and anyone that says otherwise, I will have to duel me for that title. Sorry.
Duel.
You have to duel me for it.
All right, what we got? Like, what else should we talk about before we wrap up? Anything else to talk about, chat? What else should we talk about? Any other comics? Chat? I really want to go through and read Bloom again. It was so cute.
I want to read that. I haven't. I
So
was
good.
recommended it to me. I got recommended by like a bunch of stuff when I last
But
went.
honestly, I need to finish this one.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I'm gonna work on first.
We
Sorry.
can both
There's
read it
also-
and check in on each other to see how
yeah.
far we are, and then like when we're done, we can discuss our thoughts.
Yeah, I'm down. Sorry, Daniel was texting me because I think our cat has low blood sugar.
Oh no.
But we can't tell because how do you check a cat's blood sugar?
Would it work the same way as like a person? You know, get like a little.
I
Like,
don't know. Well, like there's ways to monitor it long term, but I don't know about short term. Unfortunately, like we haven't figured that. We haven't figured that one out yet.
Oh no.
A little gay book club. I
We
actually would be
should.
really down for that.
Honestly, this is something that I've been so tempted to do, with my community for a while, is to like see if anybody would be interested in like a comic book club in particular, because that's what I'm into. Where like I pick comic for a month, and then like we would meet in like the Discord on a specific day to like discuss our thoughts, or we could, or like even like on stream. But I feel like in the Discord, like it doesn't have to be like a
little
stream
bit
thing. It feels a little bit more personal. We can like discuss a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I always thought that would be fun.
I would definitely be down. Especially because like I always would love to do a book club, but then I'm like I can never just like sit through and like read a book. Like I have to be like in a mood to read like a full novel.
Yeah, I feel like sitting through and like reading through a novel is definitely different than doing it for like a comic book.
I find comics just to be a lot easier to just like consume and to enjoy.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I always love that. I love that so much.
Yep. I agree.
But yeah. I can hear my cat meowing too. My pets are feeling unruly today. I don't know if you can tell.
My pets surprisingly are fine. I have not heard a peep.
That's true. They've been even Wheatley's been surprisingly quiet.
Wheatley has been surprisingly quiet, even with Mr. Goth Dad leaving, go somewhere and then coming back. But also sometimes Clarence has been just like screaming at my office door. Although he does have a little cat. He's got this little perch now.
Gonna put my cat on the mic.
If I could put him there. I can't do. But it's like.
Wait, that's so cute.
One. Yeah, it's really cute.
He is a very chunky boy.
Less words, more pictures means your brain needs to work less to comprehend. So true. Except for this one. This got lots of words.
Got lots of things going on.
Oh my god, I opened
But it's still like maybe feels balanced. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Good. I don't know. I might get through these two. I think these two are the ones that have been calling my attention more recently. I might start with Are You Listening and then go on to On a Sunbeam because I'm like, very the difference in size.
Yeah,
like,
maybe go for the one that's a little smaller.
Yeah. It's like while I've been reading webcomics for like quite a while, I feel like I haven't really gone into like graphic novels, like larger, like. Ayo. I haven't gotten into like longer form. Like normally I will consume like webcomics like pretty in like short spurts and it's like fine and it kind of like works when the mood kind of like strikes. But with this, I'm like, with that, I feel like it's something that I haven't really like dived into yet with like longer form, like comic type of things.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I feel like it's gonna be very good. And then I also have Goodnight Pun Pun to read, but that's a whole other story.
That's not.
That's a whole other thing.
That's not a queer book.
Nope. I don't know why. I like
It's
saw
not.
somebody on TikTok get it, and I was like, "That sounds cool. I'm kind of gonna get it. I like this art style." And
Yeah,
then
it's my
I
favorite.
got it, and everyone was like, "Do you know the
My-
content warnings associated?" And I was like,
It's my favorite, but it's
I-
very good. It is technically a slice of life, just not in
"I love
not a good
slice
one.
of life."
Not a good
Oh,
one though. Or
bad
no,
slice
it's
of life.
not slice of life. It's a coming of age story,
Okay,
but
which
a very
makes sense.
tragic one. So,
Rest in peace.
but yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna start wrapping up. We got like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta go.
We're gonna start wrapping up. Thank y'all for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, Daniel's like, I'm trying to give the cat sugar, and I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know if that's how it works.
It's me.
Oh no. Yeah, you gotta go.
I'm gonna
Gotta go deal with that.
If that's okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you can go deal with that. I will switch over to the
Wrap
other
up.
stream while I wrap up. Thank you for
Okay.
joining me. Everybody can say
Thank
goodbye
you for
to
having me,
Emrys.
Charu.
Hey, give yourself a shout out.
You can find me over on MrysKay, twitch.tv/MrysKay.
Very
That's
good.
me, MrysKay.
Good job.
Um,
MrysKay.
You can also find me on Twitter, same name. That's me.
Very good. Good job.
Very, very good. And I do in fact talk about queer media on my stream more often than
Yes.
not.
Exactly.
So it's the one thing that I know that I can talk about for hours and not get tired. So.
Yep.
But I'm gonna go check on my old diabetic cat because apparently he's having problems. I don't
Good luck, bestie.
know. Godspeed.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, this is the wrong.
Where did you go?
Oh man. Here, I'm over here now. I hit the wrong button. Not used to. This is the struggle of streaming on a different a different channel. I set up on my stream deck new buttons for the different scenes, but I'm just not. Oh. I'm not used to the buttons yet. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope we had we talked a lot about so many different things. I was very excited to talk about all these comics that I haven't been able to talk ever been able to talk about or just haven't talked about in a while. And now it has definitely don't judge me. It has definitely re-sparked my wanting to like continue because I haven't the pandemic just really threw off so much. Like I haven't really bought any like new comics or anything or like really read a lot of comics since it started because I used to like physically go to a comic book store to like get stuff and then I stopped going places like a lot of us, and so now it's really this conversation, also like watching Heartstopper and like now wanting to like read the comic and stuff has really re-sparked my wanting to continue to read newer queer comics and queer content. So thank you for listening to us talk a lot about what we got going on. I appreciate it. I hope we had a good day. I know where we are gonna raid somebody. I think we're gonna go raid Miv, our dearest friend Mivyard, who is also an ambassador for the It Gets Better project. In case y'all didn't know, that is why I'm here. Look at, I'm wearing the t-shirt. I got the t-shirt. Anyway, you can find me on twitch.tv//MomoMisfortune. Such a great talk. Thank you. It was so much fun. I'm a little tempted to have another, like I said before, I'm a little tempted to see if if Emrys will potentially rejoin me for another stream in the future after we have read some more queer comics, and then we can discuss even more. Because this is a lot of fun. This is something that like every now and then on my stream I get to talk about like I talk about this kind of stuff, but I don't like really. So it's nice to be able to like come here and like talk about something I'm passionate about that I wouldn't necessarily be able to talk about over on twitch.tv/MomoMisfortune. It was nice to do something a little different than what I normally do, that's for sure. And I thank you all for being here with me. Let us go and give Miv a raid. I think mods, do you, wait, how do I, hold on. No, I can do this. I figured it out. Ooh, wait. I know how to do it. I think we do have a raid message too, right? Wait, it's like a exclamation point raid? Question mark. Thank you for being here, B. I appreciate you. Oh, there we go. Thank you. This is the struggle of streaming. Streaming on a different channel. At least we didn't have any. I mean, my Emrys's video is being a little weird, but if it was because I was clicking out of stuff, so that was my fault. But we didn't have any technical difficulties. We did it. Anyway, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. Let's go see. What is Miv doing, by the way? Playing The Sims 4. Obviously. That is what Miv does. But thank y'all for being here. I will see you on my channel on Monday for my community, or if you want to come over to my community, I'll be on there on Monday. What are we doing Monday? Playing like Majora's Mask, and we gotta finish Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. If you're from my stream, that's what we're doing Monday. But I'll keep you updated in the Discord. Okay, bye. I appreciate y'all for being here with me. Thank you for hanging out. Goodbye. Bye.